the standings of the ACC, Florida State perfect. NC State, if they win tonight, they would have to defeat Virginia next week, but they could wind up in a tie for the ACC title. Bobby Bowden, 23-0 in the conference since Florida State joined, this being the end of the third year. And he would love desperately to get number 24 tonight. And across the way, the man that he faces off against, Michael Caine, telling us yesterday that, yep, it's possible. He said we have to play extremely well, but look at this record at home. Carter Finley has been an extremely friendly place for the Wolfpack to play. Dan Mowry will kick it off for the Seminoles of Florida State. Whitted and Mateer are back in a deep dual safety. And Whitted will take it at the 3. And he will be stopped short of the 20-yard line. Here the starting lineups brought to you by Russell Athletic. Freshman running back Tremaine Stevens made his first start last week, and he had 189 yards and 20 carries. Also runs at 51 and 52 yards. The wide receivers, they're good ones. Mike Guffey, not what you would call a burner, but a very good possession-type receiver. And on the offensive line, watch 68. Chris Henney-Rode, he's the best of the offensive linemen, all-conference and also all-academic. Throw on first down. Bender sets up the screen in the flat. Gets it, and look who is right there. Knocked down immediately by Derek Brooks, number 10, who comes up to make the hit. Check those starters for the Seminoles of Florida State. At the defensive line, number 90, Derek Alexander. He leads by word and also by example. With the linebackers, Derek Brooks, who just made the stop, he gets loads of credit. But Darrell Bush is the man who leads this team in tackles. Very underrated player. And in the secondary, Devin Bush, the strong safety. Steady performer in what is a very talented secondary for the Seminoles. Bender to throw on second down. Gets this one complete at the 23-yard line to Grissom. And he'll take it out to the 25, and it'll be third down.
Ron, if you're North Carolina State, you couldn't have Florida State in a better situation. They're coming off a Notre Dame win, and they have Florida next week, and you have them at home. Everything's right if you can just play an air-free football game.
And last year, Mike, if you remember, early on, NC State moved the football down to Tallahassee. 2 quick turnovers. They were down 14-0. All of a sudden, they were out of it. Play. Pitches back to Stevens. Tremaine loses the football, and it's recovered by NC State. Mike Guffey makes the recovery.
The pitch wasn't very good by Jeff Bender, but that's because Florida State forced the pitch. Tremaine Stevens was able to handle it, and with the speed that the young running back has, the freshman was able to pick up the first down, the fumble, and he gets a break with Mike Guffey recovering the ball.
So the first break, North Carolina State makes it for themselves. They cough up the ball. Tremaine Stevens with the fumble, then recovered by Guffey. Stevens again has 5, 6, 7. Thumped down hard at the 45 by Sean Hamlet, who comes up from free safety. But boy, Mike, you can see what a very quick first and second step that Tremaine Stevens has.
When you're playing against a quick defense, one that's always up the field, you have to run at them to try to slow down that speed. Good blocking here. Jonathan Redmond, number 76, Tremaine Stevens can hit the hole very rapidly.
Jonathan Redmond out of Seneca, South Carolina, with an excellent block, as Mike said, so it's second and short. Straight up the middle, and there's not much there this time, is Darrell Bush, the middle linebacker, freshman out of Altamont Springs, Florida. Hits Rod Brown and knocks him down for a short gain, and they've spotted it just across the 46, so it's third down to Wolfpack.
Jeff Bender, I followed in high school football when I was coaching at Pittsburgh. He played at North Hills High School, and he was 22-3 as a junior and senior, so he knows how to win. Michael King says he has poise, and his mind's always in the game. This is not your typical backup quarterback.
Barry Brooks, another gentleman who has his mind constantly in the game. Up close at the line of scrimmage, short drop, and that quick out throw, they're going to have the first down to Greg Adams. Nicely executed. Adams only a freshman. He's from Anderson, South Carolina.
They have the quick throw, but what that helps is the confidence of Jeff Bender, because the rush cannot get to the quarterback on the three-step drop. He's throwing off the 3 steps, throwing the quick out. Good call by Michael Kane.
Ted Kane standing just to his left, the offensive coordinator. What they talked at length about yesterday, and that is throwing the quick stuff so that Florida State does not have an opportunity to get the good pass rush on the quarterback. Swings this one out, and the worst pass that he has thrown. Tremaine Stevens is the man that he wanted.
And you're out, and the other ball club's got better talent than you. You've got to keep them guessing on offense. You've got to run when they expect you to throw, and throw when they expect you to run. And Jeff Bender tonight, as you see the first drive here, everything is quick throws. Not trying to go down the field with the football, trying to throw quick, trying to take away this quick rush, but take away the speed of this Florida State defense.
Well, they have had a lot of confidence in Bender, Mike, for a long time, because he even started 2 games as a redshirt freshman. So now he is a senior, of course, out of Pittsburgh, as you mentioned. 2nd and 10. Blitz coming right up the middle. Stevens has some running room. Has 5, 7, and 8, and they will mark him down just shy of the 41 as Sean Hamlet again has to come up with a free safety to make the tackle.
Dick Portee, the running back coach, said that he had a turf toe. We're talking about Tremaine Stevens. The last scrimmage before they started the regular season, he said, everybody has asked me the last couple of weeks, where's he been? And Tremaine Stevens has just been a hit since starting 2 weeks ago.
See the numbers on him, 537 yards. There's a good sustained drive by NC State to open the game. It's 3rd down. They go with the option. Stevens loses his footing and will fall down, and Todd Revolt was right there. Todd is the reason he had to make the quick cut back, and now it's going to be 4th down, NC State.
Peter Boulware, number 58, made Jeff Bender pitch that football quick. Florida State with a good drive.
Hez McCorvey, you see him back in a deep safety as Chad Robson will punt it away for the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Good coverage kick, very high. Hez makes the catch, and now here comes a flag at the 17-yard line. 30 yards in the kick. And let's see if they gave him enough room or not. Mike, that's the only thing I can think of since there was no contact. Michael Dover, the referee, and that is indeed the call.
5 yards, interference, violation, 2-yard belt, 5-yard penalty.
Shell does a timeout. 10:01 left in his opening quarter. No score.
So, what do you think? It looks tough to me. You just don't see that these days. I'm impressed. I want those qualities on our team. Think we can get them? Let's go ask.
Hey, that's Ellie's head scout.
Could you come over here a second, son?
Yeah, you. Into the show, baby.
Could you turn around? You know if these sweats come in teal?
Is that seam double-stitched?
Do you like the way it flows?
Looking for tough athletic wear? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Flexible.
The new Chrysler Cirrus has an advanced 24-valve V6. Its cab-forward design conveniently provides room for 5 and a vast array of new technology. It has dual airbags and advanced rail-through construction for superior handling and quietness. Chrysler Cirrus. While its name is derived from the heavens, one of the best reasons to own one is very down-to-earth. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Back when we started making tires, most Americans stayed pretty close to home. Well, then the car came along, and highways got bigger and better. And in time, people could actually drive from sea to shining sea. And through it all, we made tires for just about any car anybody might use to discover America. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
ESPN's presentation presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Russell Athletic. For really tough athletic wear that can survive anything, get Russell Athletic. Get tough. And by Chrysler and the new Chrysler Cirrus Sports Sedan. Derek Brooks with a towel over his head. Now Carl Reeves gets an opportunity to bring his brand of football on the field, and folks, he's fun to watch. If you'll just keep an eye on number 85, I mean, his teammates seem intimidated when they're around him on the practice field. His motor, I know that's without a better expression, his motor is always revving at the very peak amount. First down to the 21-yard line. Cannell. And Warrick Dunn is going to be knocked down for a loss back at the 17-yard line. So let's check the starters for Florida State. Warrick Dunn teamed with Rock Preston for over 300 yards last week against Notre Dame, and I think you could look for more of the same tonight. Kes McCorvey, he's simply the best of the talented group of wide receivers, and the continuity with the offensive line begins in the middle. That's with the center, number 53, Clay Shiver. Cannell zings it incomplete. Here are the starters on defense for North Carolina State. As we have mentioned already all night, watch number 85. He never stops. He never loafs. He knows only one speed, and that's full. And the linebacker in the middle, Damian Covington, he may be as good a linebacker as there is in this conference. And in the secondary, well, cornerback William Strong, he was the MVP in this game a year ago. And the pros think that this young man is a good cover guy. They like him. Cannell on third down. Swings it out in the flat, underthrown. Warrick Dunn was the intended receiver. So Danny Cannell, and it's 1, 2, 3 and out on that opening series. As Mowry will come on to punt. Has a little bit of a breeze at his back, and Brian Fitzgerald drops off in a single safety. Mowry, quite a story. We will get into more as the ball game goes on. End over end on the kick. Now takes North Carolina State bounce. It is going to be touched dead at the 47-yard line. That's only 29 yards on the kick.
You're looking at Danny Cannell. When I talked to Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, he said before the Notre Dame game last week, he said his arm was dead, felt dead in warm-up, so they laid off all week, and he really didn't throw many passes in practice this week. And you have to worry a little bit about that. When you throw the ball a lot, you got to watch your quarterback. About this time of year, they get like pitchers in baseball. You get sore arms and dead arms.
Jeff Bender with very good field position from the Florida State 47. Brings it out of the backfield. Stevens at the 40. Inside the 35-yard line. And the speedy youngster is out at the 33 as Corey Fuller will knock the freshman from Greer, South Carolina out of bounds.
Well, Jeff Bender used good sense on this. You're going to see Tremaine Stevens just come out of the backfield here flaring. Jeff Bender's looking down the field for his tight end. Not open, able to dump the ball off to Tremaine Stevens, number 20, for good yardage and a first down.
With Rod Brown as a flag comes down.
Your immediate reaction if you're coaching in this ball game is Florida State's a little flat. Offside.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, repeat first down.
Lining up offside. You've had Notre Dame last week, which was a very emotional football game. You've got Steve Spurrier and the Gators ahead next week. And hey, this is a perfect setting for an upset if North Carolina State can do their part.
Derek Brooks on the sideline, pacing and watching from afar. No score, but NC State driving inside the 30 now. Tremaine Stevens Sean Hamlet with his third tackle, but that's very bad news when you're the free safety, and that is the first down plus about 7 more yards.
When you look at Florida State on defense, they like to rush their ends wide up the football field. And when you have a quick defense, I've said this a couple times already, run at them. That's what Miami had success against Florida State, running the ball right at the defense.
Tremaine Stevens comes to the sideline, and Brian Fitzgerald, a junior out of Cincinnati, replaces him at the running back position. He gets the pitch as they bring option to the short side of the field, and he will take it down in the vicinity of the 11.
Florida State, when they get inside the 20-yard line, the opponents, they like to blitz. They brought Derek Brooks from the outside on that last defensive play. And Florida State's a little confused and is going to take a timeout.
So let's take a timeout. 7:54 left opening quarter, and they are standing here at NC State.
When we asked two-time Indy winner Emerson Fittipaldi to be involved in the development of the Chrysler Cirrus, it wasn't to have him help sell the car. It was to have him help refine it. He pushed it to the limits around the track. He made suggestions. The engineers listened. And the engineers made suggestions, and he listened. The result of this collaboration is a specially modified double wishbone suspension system unlike any other on the road today. The Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
As soon as a State Farm customer calls with a claim, I'm right on the phone to our claims center.
We work as partners. Nancy gives me the information, then I contact our customer.
We've settled hundreds of claims together. John's attitude is...
You got to be quick, and you've got to be fair.
Quick and fair.
At State Farm, teamwork is what it's all about.
We make a great team. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
East of the Texas Hill Country in Austin, there's a place that just won't let you go home hungry. It's called Threadgill's. And here you might find yourself behind a great big chicken fried steak, a mountain of red beans and rice, or even a microphone. So if you go, bring your appetite for a good time and your Visa card. Because Threadgill's might let you take the stage, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Saturday at 4, Michigan State takes on Penn State. And at 7:30, Boston College takes on Miami on ESPN.
Carter Finley Stadium, as you look back at the press box side, the home side here in Raleigh, North Carolina, filled to capacity. And this big fellow right there, Derek Alexander, speaking with his teammate Derek Brooks. And they know full well that they got to kind of batten down the hatches right now, because this NC State team is sitting with a second down with the ball at the 11.5-yard line. And Mike, nothing would fire confidence into this NC State team any quicker than to be able to take it down here and score first in this game.
And they need a touchdown, Ron, because when you're playing against Florida State, you need to tack touchdowns. You don't need field goals.
Short side of the field, Rod Brown, the sophomore out of Lithonia, Georgia, the ball carrier. Brooks is there to make the stop at the 10.
Derek Brooks, they're just lining him outside, bringing him on, just knocked away Mark Thomas, the tight end, to come in and make the play.
Wow.
Ron, he missed the first 2 games this season. He was suspended, then he came back. Coaches said he was pressing. Now he's starting to play within the system, letting the plays come to him rather than trying to make big plays all the time.
Third down. The line to make, the 7.5-yard line. Bender, lots of time over the middle, in and out of the hands. Rod Brown looked as though the ball went right through his hands, Mike.
Looks like he may have lost it somehow, and he's come up limping. They cannot afford to lose Rod Brown. Third and short, the respect for the Florida State defense. They have Rod Brown against Darrell Bush, the linebacker, open, just couldn't connect.
So Steve Vitek will come on to attempt the field goal from the near hash mark. A 27-yard attempt. Good pass. and he nails it. So he's 41 of 51 in his career.
Where North Carolina has had success against Florida State here in this first quarter is first down. Florida State likes to own first down, given the 3 yards or less, forcing you into long yardage situations. But NC State has been very successful on first down.
Steve Vidatek, senior out of Winston-Salem. They say he is as good as they've ever had here, Mike, and I watched him yesterday in practice and also in the warm-up tonight, and he is so precise in how he goes about going through every, just like baseball players before they come to the plate, golfers when they address a golf ball. I mean, he has a routine he goes through, and he kicks from outside the outer boundary from the 7-yard line once Thursday practice begins, and he will try like 20 field goals from that severe angle, and he hit most of them yesterday.
Well, he's a soccer player in high school, and really the high school coach put an ad in the paper, and that's how he eventually went out for football. Walked on here, and of course has earned himself a scholarship and will probably kick in the NFL.
It's going to come up short. Brock Preston at the 14. Got some running room in the middle. Tries to get back outside and is going to be tackled at the 36. Well, coming up tomorrow, the NFL. At 8 o'clock Eastern time, the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers. NFL all-time touchdown leader Jerry Rice goes up against the 1993 Rookie of the Year, Jerome Bettis. 49ers, of course, coming off that big win over the Dallas Cowboys last week. So it's 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the Rams and the 49ers here on ESPN.
Florida State had so much success running the football against Notre Dame, you figure that they'll try to run the ball here in this series against this NC State defense.
And they go with the running play. Warwick Dunn, look at the move inside, gets it back outside, but that's a nice open field stop by William Strong, the senior out of Chester, South Carolina.
William Strong, as he talked to us the other day, as a tailback in high school, really committed to Wofford, a small school, and then 2 days before the national letter, NC State offered him a scholarship, and he said he still wants to be a tailback. And he told you he's looking for the plaque that you promised him 2 years ago.
He was MVP last year. He asked us at the bowl game last year, where's my plaque? He said, William, you don't get a plaque, but the school gets $1,000. There's the running play. He's going to be stopped after a couple at the 42. Carl Reeves at the bottom of the puck.
I think maybe they can take a little of that $1,000 and buy him a plaque. There's Carl Reeves, number 85, a dominant defensive end. They want to run at him because they feel like he runs so well that he chases things down, so they'd prefer to run right at number 85.
Florida State using the huddle on this series right here. It's a third down, and they need the 46-yard line. Fakes it to Dunn. Cannell has it incomplete at the NC State 45. Cooper, the intended receiver.
Ron, Danny Cannell is throwing like a quarterback with a dead arm, a tired arm. Or maybe use a better expression here, a tired arm late in the season. And remember what we talked about at the beginning of the game. The coaches feel like he's playing so cautious since the Miami game that they're hoping that he can gain some confidence tonight.
Dan Mowry to punt it away. Youngster who is from Tallahassee. Good coverage kick. Very, very high. Fitzgerald makes it and then is tackled at the 17-yard line. 41 yards in the punt. 3-0 NC State. We'll be right back.
This new Dodge Ram truck is just $289 a month. This new Dodge Caravan is only $289 a month. This new Dodge Intrepid is also just $289 a month. Where? At Roebuck Parkway Dodge during our year-end closeout. While they last, pay just $289 a month for a new Dodge Ram truck. Drive home a new Caravan for only $289 a month, or jump behind the wheel of a new Intrepid for just $289 a month. But hurry, inventory is good right now, but at $289 a month, they won't last long. Where? At Roebuck Parkway Dodge.
seems like you're always putting money into your luxury car, you might want to take note of a recent study. Based on projected cost of ownership from maintenance to depreciation, the Lexus ES was named the best overall value in its class. So drive an ES instead of a money pit. To save money down the road, see Tom Williams Lexus Birmingham.
The big story of this day, Bill McCartney, the Colorado head coach, resigning. His players are reacting very emotionally.
If not for Coach Mack, I'd be in Detroit, probably working at McDonald's somewhere. But he stuck with me and, stayed with me. And, he stuck his neck out on the limb to recruit me.
People start crying, broke down, start crying. I was shocked. I was like, dang, because that's the main reason why I came here, because of Coach Mack, because I knew he had a long deal, and I knew that's going to be some stability in the coaching staff, and I wanted to be a part of the system. And for him to go like that is real sad, but he's leaving in good fashion.
Show the statement of some of the Colorado Buffalo players when they found out that their head coach, Bill McCartney, is stepping down. Mike, did you have any prior knowledge?
No,
no
I
conversation.
Just visited with him 3-4 weeks ago when we were out in Colorado. Had no idea. Fine gentleman.
First down at the 18-yard line. Bender looks to set up the screen, got Stevens, and he is going to be hit and tackled in the open field by Eric Smith.
Slow development plays aren't good against Florida State. You look at the success they've had here. When you look inside tackle to tackle, 6 carries for 27 yards. So they're running right at the quick Florida State defense.
Tremaine Stevens caught that pass on the screen that they were setting up, but as you mentioned, Mike, plays that are not quick developing, that don't work well against Florida State, and I'm sure that Stevens was thinking, I really haven't been treated like that this year.
Give me the ball inside on that play, because they're so quick, they just run so well, they react so fast.
Then there's a flag goes down, through the pass, complete to his tight end, Dallas Dickerson.
Quick defenses like Miami, Florida, Florida State, of course, Nebraska, and Alabama, teams that just so much speed.
Dead ball. Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot.
You start running sideline to sideline. If you look at Mickey Andrews, they just chase you down with their physical ability.
Eric Smith right there, who came up and made the tackle a moment ago. We add 5 yards, the penalty, onto that loss after the tackle by Smith. So NC State now scrimmaging with their worst situation. Pressure, Bender, wow, just gets away, he's going to be sacked before getting back to the line of scrimmage. But Mike, he's lucky he didn't get tackled in the end zone.
Very fortunate, Ron, that this is not a 3-2 football game. But the ability of Jeff Bender, the athletic ability of Jeff Bender, as you see Orpheus Roy, number 98, chase Jeff Bender, wisely gets down, setting up a 3rd down situation.
3rd down and the line to make is all the way out at the 28. You have to wonder if NC State will try something risky here or have a very basic play and just try to punt it away.
Just run Tremaine Stevens up inside, punt the football.
Play action by Bender. He's going to be sacked at the 1-yard line. Now, here comes the difficulty. They will only be able to drop their punter 11 yards, and actually not quite that, as Wilson came in to make the initial hit, because he's going to have to stand in front of that line.
Something you know about Florida State is they've been very adept at blocking kicks the last few seasons. They work very hard at it at Tallahassee to get after the punter and field goal kicker. They're going to have great field position either way.
Robson standing with his heels right back about 6 inches from that line. And they're coming after him, and he gets it away. This is Roll from the 36. And they say he had called for the fair catch. 35 yards on the kick, and let's check in with Mike Adams. Mike?
Well, one of the reasons Jeff Bender is starting tonight is because Terry Harvey cannot. That painful separated left shoulder still bothering him. Here's how he got hurt. Brandon Pollock from Duke with the interception, and number 14, Terry Harvey, really slammed him. That's the kind of play that makes coaches cringe when your quarterback has to make tackles like that. He is able to play should Bender go down tonight, but Coach Mike O'Kane certainly hopes that's not the case because they still have Virginia to go next week.
Yeah, and that's a big point. And he really could enter that thing to the point where he would be unable to go next week. Warrick Dunn, hit by Carl Reeves.
Carl Reeves steps inside the block and makes the tackle on Warrick Dunn, number 28. Now, Carl Reeves, Ron, 6'4", 242. Mike Adamle talked about his attitude early in the ball game, that he's had a mad on since his Florida State game last year.
I know. And Mike, you saw him down low. It looked like he was swimming. People say, what's he doing? Normally when you're that free, you're looking for a trap block. You're waiting to get your head knocked off. But he was just free. Cannell has it complete inside the 25-yard line to Kes McCorvey. And let's check once again with Mike Adams.
You know, Ron and Mike, after getting pounded by Florida State in the final game of last year in the Hall of Fame Bowl by Michigan, the defensive line and all the players realized that they needed to get bigger and stronger to compete with the big boys. Look at the defensive line and what they did. Carl Reeves, Eric Counts, Mike Harrison, they didn't just bulk up, but they put on solid muscle mass. Weight went down in the key stat, body fat went up. And it's all because of what Florida State did to them a year ago. So far, so good. They're handling themselves quite well.
Yes, they are. Reeves at 8%. You don't see any defensive linemen that low. Warrick Dunn, almost a 10-yard gain. He's inside the 20-yard line. And let's check with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Okay, Ron, thank you very much. They're playing for the Apple Cup in Pullman. And right now, Washington State has the lead. Derek Sparks' second effort on 4th and goal at the half. The Cougars of Mike Price lead by 15.
Wow. So Washington and Washington State, again, one of those rivalries. And Mike Gottfried, you'd never know exactly the way when the cross-staters get together how it's going to finish, do you?
No, and all the rivalries today across the country. I saw a great first quarter in the Duke, North Carolina game today.
This running play, did he make the first down? Damon Covington steps in and makes the hit. And now let's see where they're going to spot him. I don't believe he's going to have it. I think they're going to spot him, yeah, just outside the 17-yard line. So it's third down at about 1.5 yards for the Seminoles. 3-0. North Carolina State leads as we're under 1 minute to play in this opening quarter. Warrick Dunn, he's going to have the first down. What a good, quick first step, and he danced his way a little further to the left, and he'll have the first down at the 14. Ricky Bell defensively.
That's exactly what you want on defense. They've got an 8-man front in here, and they get good penetration from their defensive tackles up the field. But Warrick Dunn is able to sidestep and make the play and just bounce inside Carl Reeves, number 85. Zach Crockett with a good block, the fullback.
Well documented, the youngster out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Roomed with Charlie Ward last year as a freshman. Fade route in the end zone. Did he get it in bounds? Nope. And Andre Cooper caught it out of bounds. William Strong in the cover. One of the things that Strong talked about at practice yesterday, he said they are such good leapers, you got to not only cover them, you got to time it right.
Andre Cooper was behind William Strong, but William Strong used his body and just came into Andre Cooper and was able to take him out of bounds.
Should be the last play of the first quarter. Almost had it knocked out of his hands, out to Dunn. And Warrick will take it inside the 10, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 6 by William Strong. And that is the end of the first quarter with our score. North Carolina State 3, Florida State 0.
You ready?
Yep.
What's this? We're playing on clay.
Right back.
It's mixed doubles.
Oh.
Outdoor court.
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. Just change your clothes once. To Discus Athletic, the way America plays.
Craig Lambert isn't too worried about how to invest for Zach's college education. That's because he works with a broker from Dean Witter. Together, they developed a long-term investment plan to help take Zach wherever he wants to go.
Clients feel most comfortable with our ability to see things from their perspective.
Now, when Craig looks into his son's eyes, he can see the future and smile. Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
The new Chrysler Cirrus has an advanced 24-valve V6. Its cab-forward design conveniently provides room for 5 and a vast array of new technology. It has dual airbags and advanced rail-through construction for superior handling and quietness. Chrysler Cirrus. While its name is derived from the heavens, one of the best reasons to own one is very down-to-earth. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Strap your helmets on. This is primetime NCAA football from the new Mindscape. 40 college teams, colors, and logos. Year-long stats. Land and snow. Treacherous rain. 72 plays, bone crunches, playoff action. It's a hot new sports game from the new Mindscape. NCAA football. Get in the game.
Sir, do you ever spend $70 for a motel room? Yes, I do. May I see your wallet, please? Sure. Thank you.
What are you doing?
Throwing your money away. You do.
Don't throw your money away. Hit the roof. Red Roof Inns.
More to the left, Bob.
He's a private investigator.
Hear the lady screaming my name. Shane! Shane!
Where's Lorena Bobbitt when you need her?
She's his new partner.
Mike Tyson could beat Muhammad Ali.
That's right.
Mike Tyson can't spell Muhammad Ali.
Together, they're putting the competition to shame.
If you sing James Brown songs, dogs will not attack.
Keenen Ivory Wayans. Jada Pinkett.
Keep your day job.
A low-down, dirty shame. Rated R. Starts November 23rd.
3-0 our score as we end the first quarter of play. And as we come back here to open the second one, it is a third down, about 1.5 yards for Florida State. The ball at the 6.5-yard line.
Ron, usually down in this area, they like Zach Crockett, the fullback. He's been very effective inside the 10-yard line.
Total yards Florida State in that opening quarter, only 33. They pitch it. Dunn. Can he turn the corner? Yes, and he will score.
He just outran the pursuit of North Carolina State and just pure speed to get to the corner by Warrick Dunn.
You know what he said to Bobby Bowden just before the Notre Dame game? He asked him on the practice field. Warrick Dunn said, "Who was your last 1,000-yard rusher?" And Coach said, "Well, it was Sammy Smith." And he said, "Do you want another one?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's run the football more. I can do it for you, Coach." And last week went over 150 as Mowry knocks home the extra point. And here's a replay, Mike.
He didn't mean he'd get 1,002 games, though. Warrick Dunn, number 28, just sprints to the corner. There's just no one there. Good block by Andre Cooper, number 1. The only one to stop him was the Bushes.
Oh, my. Mike, that was a cheerleader that got hit by that defensive back. If you look at that replay again.
And you see Warrick Dunn's stats when he carries 10-plus times, what he accomplishes with the football, starting with Maryland and 104 yards right to Notre Dame with 163.
No, he's only a sophomore, and what his teammates said, Mike, is so interesting. Warrick Dunn's not a talker. He doesn't say a great deal. Charlie Ward said they would go for a full evening sometimes last year as roommates, and the youngster would just not say a word. He was very quiet. But they were a little surprised that he went to Coach Bowden and even brought it up and said, "Do you want another 1,000-yard rusher? Because I can do it for you." And they said that Coach Bowden really liked the fact that the youngster took it upon himself and came to it. And he said, "You betcha, let's go for it."
He's been impressive. Very impressive against Notre Dame. And remember, he's got a backup, Rock Preston. It's also a very good tailback.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was talking about earlier with North Carolina State, you cannot settle for field goals when you get in the scoring zone against Florida State. They score too many points. They hit too quick.
Mowry slipped down on the kick. This is very short. Whitehead will take it for the 10. A lot of running room. Midfield, Mowry misses him, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That's Corey Fuller who saved the touchdown.
Get a good kickoff return. You've got to start up the field and then break to the outside. Now the kicker, Mowry, misses, but Corey Fuller, number 4, saves the touchdown. Here's what I'm talking about, Ron. They cannot. They've got great field position. They've got to take the ball in the end zone for a touchdown here against this defense.
Whitted with a 55-yard return. That'll get you going every time. Fitzgerald opens at running back this time, along with Rod Brown. Whistles come down. That one was kind of ill-fated from the get-go, as Fitzgerald had lined up at the top of the eye. Then they sent him out way out in a slot on the left side. And they get a procedure call.
First drive, they had success on first down. The last 2 drives, they had a screen that they were thrown for a big loss, and here they jump. Illegal procedure.
You see those coaches hollering who? Because they want to correct the problem. They're not looking to argue with the officials. They want to know who encroached.
Well, usually what happens, the official goes to the referee. He gives it to the side judge, and he's supposed to bring it over to the coach, the number.
Yes, they'll find out and get it squared away. First down and 15. Play action as Bender's going to roll it out and keep it. Inside the 35, and he'll step out at the 34-yard line. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Ron, it was Florida State's quarterback that won the Heisman last year. How about the quarterbacks in this year's race? Well, here's Steve McNair's final numbers in his last regular season game, throwing that touchdown to his brother Tim, one of his 5 touchdowns, 531 yards, and 3 INTs in Jackson State's win, or Alcorn State's win over Jackson.
So, big one there at Jackson Memorial Stadium today with Alcorn getting the win. Ball is loose. Now, was there contact at the line of scrimmage? It looked as though as a flag is down, it looked as though there was encroachment on the part of the defense. But let's see if they were drawn off or what the situation was.
Here's the snap to Jeff Bender. Number 76, Jonathan Redmond. Moved too soon. When you have a quick defensive player on you, you're always trying to get that first step back in pass protection. Just a little bit too quick for Jonathan Redmond.
Mike, the dangerous thing right there is Bender could have thought they were going to get a free down, and if he hadn't hustled to get to the football, they may not have gotten the football back. So North Carolina State now looking at a second down, and they need about 13, almost 14 yards to get the first. 7-3, Florida State leads. Pumps it, going to go on top. Overthrown is Greg Addis, who's the man that he wanted. Bender went down hard after he got it away.
Can't afford to get Jeff Bender injured tonight. With Harvey already out. Peter Boulware, number 58, again with the hit on Bender. 5 for 8, all short passes that he's completed so far.
55-yard kick return is what got North Carolina State in this position. Now let's see if they can take advantage of it. And Bender wants a timeout. So we'll take it with him. 7-3 Florida State. We'll be right back.
Mother Boyle and son Tim demonstrate their Columbia Parker's radial sleeves and zip-out liner. The Columbia Interchange System adapts to any outdoor situation.
For over 90 years, we've built a reputation for truck strength. Now we're adding a new dimension of even greater comfort with a luxury of leather and a refined new interior, surrounded by all the strength you'd expect from GMC trucks, which may be the greatest comfort of all.
Television of the future? I've got it now. DirecTV. It's movies, hit movies, tons of movies. It's like browsing in a video store right in your living room and always finding what you want. Ooh. The hit movies I want start every 30 minutes. Now, for just $2.99 each, the movies come to me. All digital, so I can get a great picture with CD sound. That never happened before. For more movies, sports, and cable networks, get your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV at your RCA dealer.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by GMC Truck, the strength of experience. Part of the crowd here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Nice and friendly folks, and they have rolled out the carpet for us this week, which we greatly appreciate. There's going to be an expansion on this stadium that is in the works. It will not happen in the next year or so. There's a basketball arena going to be built just adjacent to this complex first. They plan on taking this one to over 75,000. Pass over the middle, has it complete. Adrian Hill. He'll be stopped at the 32-yard line by Devin Bush.
The other advantage that Florida State has in this ball game is a lot of depth. They're going to play 45, at least 45 players in the first half, where North Carolina State does not have the same type of depth. And Bobby Bowden said that's the difference in my ball club and the other teams in the ACC. They have good players. We have good players. We have more than they have.
This attempt, Mike's going to come from the 38, so a 48-yard attempt by Vidatek. And from outside the 40, he is 3 of 4. Just short, just underneath, caught it a little fat. So a 55-yard return. Mike goes down the drain. And Mike Adamle, let's check in with you once again.
Well, although that last field goal missed by Steve Vidatek, one of the reasons you mentioned that he played soccer, he didn't play football until he was in the 11th grade, but he was talking to me earlier during practice the importance of the short swing with his kicking leg. It, number one, allows him to get the kickoff quickly, and number two, like golf, the compact movement gives him greater accuracy. He didn't hit it there, but they expect this kid probably to be the all-ACC kicker this year and possibly win him a game down the line, maybe tonight.
So Vidatek is short on the 48-yarder, and they go straight ahead with the fullback, Zach Crockett, and just across the 35-yard line for a gain of 4. Running, just about to go under 13 minutes left until halftime. Very speedy opening quarter in this ball game. Now things have slowed down a little bit as both clubs have started throwing the ball a lot, NC State particularly. Takes it to Rock Preston. Pass is tipped in the air. It's free ball and is knocked away. That's a nice play by Ricky Bell. Mike Tirico, go back to you.
Ron, we showed you McNair a couple of moments ago. Another gentleman certainly in the forefront of the Heisman chase for Rashaan Salaam. The announcement of Bill McCartney's resignation will overshadow this great run that put him over 2,000 yards, becoming the 4th Division 1A back to go over 2,000 in a year.
Well, they can talk about the Heisman, the running backs. I'll tell you, I like Jay Barker. And you and I talked about it last night. I like Jay Barker for the Heisman. The Heisman should go to the player who's done the most for his ball club. I don't know anybody that's done any more than Jay Barker.
I don't think there's any question about that. They set the screen. Zach Crockett with a blocker in front. Breaks it open at the 50, and he's going to wind up picking 17 more yards up downfield after that paving block.
Clay Shiver, number 53, was out there to block for Zach Crockett. They set the screen up perfect. Danny Cannell with good footwork. Really invites the rush in. Here's the fake. Now he sets. Seems still drop. Sets it up perfect. Kick to Zach Crockett. There's Clay Shiver, number 53. Just running over James Walker, number 2, for a big gain for Florida State. Florida State's now getting control of this game.
Cannell seems more relaxed right now, Mike.
The running game is healthy. The running game is taking a little pressure off them. They came out trying to throw the ball, but now they're running successfully. Now he's throwing the football.
James this one for the end zone and intercepted out of bounds. So no interception. Caught it out of bounds. Nice job by David Whitesey.
When you watch Florida State, you and I got to watch them several times last year. We were spoiled. People don't realize how good Charlie Ward was last year for this Florida State football team. Here's the interception, but he's out of bounds. They're trying to get the ball to number 88, Kes McCorvey. Damon Whitesey, number 32.
Very athletic move on the part of Whitesey trying to get that foot down, but the other one had already hit. The official was right there and made the call. So it's 2nd and 10. Rock Preston in the ball game at tailback. Turns the corner, look out, he's free. He will score from 33.5 yards away. Patrick McNeil is the man who blew his defender away.
That's where you talk about depth. The depth of being able to bring in second-team offensive linemen, second-team tailback Rock Preston. They're fresh. You wear down a defense that can only play 15 players. You just keep putting the heat on them with quick offensive players.
Mowry to attempt the extra point. He's right down the middle. So we'll take a break. 12:08 left until halftime, and all of a sudden, 14-3 Seminoles.
At GMC Truck, we built a reputation for truck strengths. A considerable advantage that also comes in this handy take-home size. Sierra from GMC Truck.
Don't let a new car payment be a financial burden. Get Smart Lease by GMAC. It just might give you something you wouldn't mind carrying around. Don't let a new truck payment stretch you to the limit. Get Smart Lease by GMAC. It keeps new vehicles well within reach.
Thursday at 8, Syracuse, out to avenge last year's loss, takes on West Virginia, only on ESPN.
The designers of Sega's all-new NFL 95 wanted you to know what it feels like in a real NFL game. So they gave it the real teams, the real players, and a brand new feature that lets you see 65 yards downfield, just like in real life.
Oh, my God.
Very sorry, Mr. Montana. There's even a new trading feature.
I just bought a house.
Rock Preston with his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. Takes it from 33 yards away. Time now for our Sega Sports Student Athletes of the Game. For Florida State, junior quarterback Danny Cannell. He's majoring in pre-medicine with a 3.1 GPA. And for NC State, senior tackle Chris Henney-Rode. He's majoring in biological science with a 3.5. Sega congratulates these fine student athletes. Whitted, who had that 55-yard return just a moment ago, is the fellow that you're looking at. And he's got to be thinking, there's Mowry probably going to try to kick it away from him. Hey, guys, if I do that again, let's get something for it. Riddick from the 6. Turns the corner. Here he comes again. And they'll push him out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
When you run a sweep, Ron, you want to, first of all, get the corner. Now, Melvin Pearsall is going to get a good hook block here that'll start the sweep play. Now, he seals the defensive end. Now, let's stop it right here. Now, you pick up Cooper, the wide receiver, number 1 with a block. Now, this is McNeil, the pulling guard, with a block, number 69. And now you see that it's just home free for the touchdown for Rock Preston. 3 very fine blocks on that play.
Inside a handoff. Good heavens. Carlos King, the fullback, he got hit almost as quickly as he got the football. Now, Mike, a point to make. If you had to say, until that last scoring drive, the last 4 plays of that scoring drive, with the 55-yard return by NC State, they had played almost equal with Florida State, and all of a sudden, bam, bam. Florida State is up 14-3, and it shows you how devastating they can be.
But they haven't been able to do anything on offense.
Well, I understand that.
They haven't. They had the first drive, but they're not throwing the ball down the field. They're not breaking anything a long way, and even though they've had good field position, they haven't been able to do anything with it.
Just overthrown. Greg Adams, the intended receiver. Clifton Abraham is asking. They got their feet tangled up, asking if maybe there was offensive interference, and not so.
And this game is slowly slipping away from NC State because there's just so much talent here at Florida State. You've got to stay on them.
That's what he's complaining about. Clifford Abraham did get pushed in the middle of the back. That's what he was talking about. Clifton Abraham saying, wait a minute now. There's a reason I was on the turf. His club on top, 14-3. Good look at Clifton, the senior out of Dallas Carter, working against Guffey this time. Bender over the middle. Ball is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by Florida State at the 46-yard line. It's Raynard Wilson.
Raynard Wilson, a down defensive end, is going to show you how hustle pays off. The ball's going to be thrown by Jeff Bender. Now, Raynard Wilson was working up the field. Now the ball's tipped. Now you're going to see a hustling defensive end come back to the football, make the interception. He never gave up. He didn't count his change. He didn't pay a ticket to get in here. He was playing hard on that football play.
Derek Brooks is the man who was playing tight defense that caused the ball to be tipped away. As you look at Wilson. And Michael Caine knows that this thing could get totally out of hand real quick if he's not careful.
Well, it's headed that way. They have to protect the football. They had their turnovers last year at Florida State and got routed, and that's what they're heading for here if they don't hold on to the football.
Zach Crockett takes it for 11, almost 12 yards as they go inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Carl Reeves, the senior from Durham. Great competitor, and he's had a good ball game so far as the Seminoles have a player who is down. It's Jesus Hernandez, a junior out of Miami, who's down. And Mike Adamle, let's go back down and check with you.
A little more on Raynard Wilson, Ron and Mike. He was the brunt of some good humor if you're a Florida State teammate of his. Last week in the Notre Dame game on kickoff coverage, he absolutely got leveled by one of the Irish blockers. Never saw him coming. And to wit, the following week, Monday at practice, one of his coaches, Chuck Amato, taped a big bullseye in the center of his chest. He was the target of the week. I don't know how Raynard felt about it, but his teammates were absolutely rolling.
Those are the kind of blocks when they either work a handoff or a quick reverse, and you're not only unsuspecting, you don't see it. Boy, he's an awfully good player. Look at this, 9.5 sacks, 32 tackles for him, and he's just come up with an interception as Jesus Hernandez is still down, now being helped up by his teammates, and they're going to have to help him off the field. By the way, to comment on these uniforms, and some people were asking in the press box prior to the game, Florida State has not worn these particular uniforms on the road. Now, they have worn the garnet pants and garnet jerseys at home. But we're told that the Florida State personnel, the first time that they've worn this combination on the road. Big opening. Warrick Dunn inside the 25, and he's down to the 18. And let's go back to Mike Adams. So it's a first down at the 18-yard line. Florida State 14-3, trying to make it 21. Fade route into the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by Philip Riley. William Strong tried to take it away, and it was Riley who went up a little taller.
Warrick Dunn was able to stay in the backfield and make a block so that Danny Cannell could get this football off to Philip Riley, number 15. Good position by William Strong, but Philip Riley just was able to go up and make the catch.
Mowry trying to make it 21, and he does. So let's take a break. 10:15 left until halftime, and all of a sudden, the garnet and gold has exploded.
Vulcan Lincoln Mercury announces the arrival of the 1995 Mercury Mystique. They got it right the first time with this one, folks. It's been the #1 selling car in Europe for over a year, and now you can see for yourself why this car is taking America by storm. Listen to this. No scheduled tune-up for the first 100,000 miles. Vulcan Lincoln Mercury will even give you the oil. Now that's confidence, TC. The kind of quality and service that make Vulcan the leader. Vulcan Lincoln Mercury, Highway 31 in Vestavia.
This new Dodge Ram truck is just $289 a month. This new Dodge Caravan is only $289 a month. This new Dodge Intrepid is also just $289 a month. Where? At Roebuck Parkway Dodge during our year-end closeout. While they last, pay just $289 a month for a new Dodge Ram truck. Drive home a new Caravan for only $289 a month. Or jump behind the wheel of a new Intrepid for just $289 a month. But hurry, inventory is good right now. But at $289 a month, they won't last long. Where? At Roebuck Parkway Dodge.
The DirecTV Grade 8 Festival. Catch Florida, Boston College, and Duke UConn on Tuesday, followed by Missouri, Purdue, and Michigan, Arizona on Wednesday. Only on ESPN.
10:15 left until halftime. 21-3 Florida State. As the Seminoles started slowly, if you can believe that, if you're just joining our telecast tonight, and all of a sudden they have struck with 21 points. And what did, again, see if they'll kick it to him one more time, because he has been probably the most elusive thing that the Wolfpack has had so far tonight. And they're going to kick it to him again. This time from the 2. And he'll be stopped at the 22-yard line.
Warrick Dunn, number 28, is going to come over and block Mike Moore, number 47, a backer coming from the outside, which really gives Danny Cannell a free throwing lane to throw the ball to Philip Riley, number 15. Now look at William Strong's in pretty good shape here. Just Philip Riley just is able to use his strength to wrestle the ball away for the touchdown.
There's 3 Florida State touchdowns in the second quarter, all in 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Option play. Tremaine Stevens cuts back against the grain, and let's see who can win this foot race. Inside the 35, and he's ridden out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 25. Check it.
Tremaine Stevens, when we were watching practice Thursday, he was in a class. He misses Thursday practice every week. They signed him, North Carolina State, on his junior film, and you can see why. Carl Reeves, a happy teammate on the sideline, as Tremaine Stevens, a freshman, shows the NC State people what they can look forward to for the next 3-4 years.
Mike, I just wonder why we didn't see him on that series after the 55-yard return, if he was shaken up or what. There's a run by Rod Brown, going to be a gain of 8. And let's check in with Mike Tirico.
Sure, the Virginia coaches are taking note because they host NC State on Friday. Today, the Cavaliers forced 8 Virginia Tech turnovers in Blacksburg and made them pay. Here's Mike Groh getting it to Tiki Barber on the counter for a 14-yard score, part of a Cavalier 19-point win.
42 points, but when you commit that many turnovers, that's going to happen to you. Second down and short for the Wolfpack. Straight ahead with Brown, the fullback. He'll take it for a couple, and it's going to be Roy, who is down at the bottom of that stack. Brown came off limping just a while ago on a pass play in the first quarter, thrown at around the 5-yard line, and it looks as though he's still limping just a little bit. Stevens puts the head down. Football is loose. Florida State is recovered.
Just can't miss this many opportunities to score against a good defensive football team. The young freshman just dropped the football.
Roberson, I think, is the man who cost it, and then Darrell Bush made the recovery.
Ronnie Cottrell, who coaches the linebackers, congratulating Darrell Bush. You see Tremaine Stevens hit up into the line, got that ball a little loose in his arms. Andre Wadsworth is in there also. Darrell Bush, number 44, comes up with the football.
Cannell gives the ball in the running play. Rock Preston is back in a tailback, and he'll take it for a couple. Damon Covington, number 36, holding on, is on the sideline. Some of the teammates trying to comfort the freshman.
They need to comfort him because he's going to be the franchise around here for a while.
I'll tell you, he is really very good. He's hurting right now because of the fumble, and he did cost his team because they were headed for what appeared to be 6 points. Pitch back to Preston. Turns the corner, and he is going to almost make it to the 25-yard line. Don't forget, coming up on Thursday, the CFA weekend begins Thanksgiving night, 7:30 Eastern Time, with the weekend kickoff show. Then followed by Syracuse against West Virginia. Syracuse coming off a 21-16 win against Maryland, and West Virginia today. Hey, Don Nehlen's guys have regrouped. They shocked Boston College 21-20. That's where Mike, and myself will be on Thursday evening.
Short week for those two coaching staffs to get ready for the Thanksgiving night ball game.
Warwick Dunn, a tailback, as Cannell has the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and knocked down, and the third down play is unsuccessful. Carl Reeves got a hand up and knocked it down.
Carl Reeves is staying energized. He's not going to give up in this football game. Good effort, good getting his hands up. See that Wake Forest game today. That was a big win for Jim Caldwell and then Wake Forest staff. ACC, a big day today. I was over, as I said, the Duke, North Carolina game for a quarter today. Packed house.
Mowry with the punt. Brian Fitzgerald loses the football. Loose at the 48-yard line. Florida State ball.
Just can't make this many mistakes and hang around to tell about it. Looked like he tried to catch it high. Brian Fitzgerald, number 38, Going to drop the football.
Hit his face mask, Michael.
Hit up high, and he had his hands too low, and the ball deflected, and Florida State with great field position.
Travis Sherman with the recovery.
Buck says McCorvey time here in the next couple plays.
Warwick Dunn turns the corner, has 5, 7, and 8, and let's count it off. They're going to say now 11 yards. First down, Florida State. 21-3. The Seminoles on top as the clock shows 6:50 left until halftime, and Bell is injured for North Carolina State. Ricky, a sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina. Very consistent player, and you can see he's holding his back as though maybe he got hit in the kidneys. Well, speaking of the Heisman race, let's look at some of the numbers. Jay Barker, 62.3% completion, just over 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, he only has 2 interceptions. Collins, 66%, almost 67. 2390 his yards, 20 touchdowns. McNair, 4,861 yards. You see his rushing total and 53 total touchdowns.
I do not have a vote, but I believe the gentleman in Pittsburgh, Bino Cook, has one, and I'm going to call him and ask him to use his vote for Jay Barker. I really believe he deserves it, Ron. I think it's a year where there's a lot of great players, but I just don't know if anybody's done as much for his football team as Jay Barker has.
I don't know how you could do much more. But there are only 2 games that he hasn't won. And let's go down to Mike Adderley. Mike, what do you have for
quickly, Ricky Bell, what happened to him, Ron, is that Warwick Dunn so elusive, he ducked the tackle and collided head-on with his teammate Brandon Davis.
Good heavens, Davis was not supposed to play much tonight. He's got a hamstring pull. Cannell going to go on top, looking for the end zone, and it is going to be knocked away. Defensively, that's Major, who is down there to make the play.
Tried to go to Kes McCorvey deep in the end zone. Drew Major, number 9, pretty good coverage against Kes McCorvey. And really, what happened on this play, Danny Cannell didn't throw the ball quick enough. Held on to it too long to throw the long pass.
Mike, you see what happened? That ball got tipped. It almost went right back in his arms on the ground. Major, a senior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, 5'10", 186. Warwick Dunn, no place to go, so he just puts the head down. He'll wind up salvaging 3 yards in the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Strong defensively for NC State.
The offense of Florida State really has revolved since Charlie Ward has departed back to the type of offense that Bobby Bowden ran before Charlie Ward. Now more of a 2-back offense and designed with 2 receivers and running the football. You look at the first 5 games, what they did running the football and passing, and in the last 4 games since Miami, they have completely changed the emphasis. Now they're more of a running football team.
Barely gets this one away. Cannell with the screen, got Crockett wide open, and he will take it for the first down to the 20-yard line. Zach Crockett, the senior out of Pompano Beach.
Well, Zach Crockett, last year, you remember they had William Floyd in the backfield. I really liked William Floyd. He was a #1 draft choice of the 49ers. Zach Crockett is the same type of back. Here he just does a nice little block there just to set up the screen pass. Now gets the football over the middle, uses a little bit of moves to get up the football field. But, Ron, he's a complete back. He blocks. He's a cut blocker. They like him inside the 5-yard line to score touchdowns with a belly play, and he can catch the football.
And he weighs 245. They're going to go with a reverse. Well, where are we going to go with this? They lose the ball. That's free. It is recovered by NC State. And it looks like Eric Counts, the senior out of Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Eric Counts was recruited as a fullback out of high school. This last year, he used to go to the weight room every morning at 6 in the morning, and he would take his 2-year-old son, Wesley, with him. Really really makes a good play on this. And sometimes in a game, you look back and you'd say, I'd like to have a call back. This is one Florida State would like to have back. E.J. Green, number 19, fumbles the football.
Running play for short yardage to the 40. Tremaine Stevens. So Reeves and company getting a breather on the sideline as the defensive coaches talk it over, saying,
that's Ken Pettis, they're the defensive coordinator.
Keep doing your job. Great technique. You will be all right, man. That's a great job of fighting your guts out right down the turnover. Great job of going out there and stopping. Let's do it again. Good job, guys.
So they're down 21-3, and right now what they need to do is beckon to the offense. Hey, help us out some here. Option play. Pitch comes to Stevens. Can't turn the corner. And he's going to be stopped at the 43. It's Brian Capers who took his feet out from under it.
Fortunately, they got a block out of Jimmy Grissett, number 83, that was able to make that positive yard, so they'd have been hit in the backfield. They need some little possession pass here, Ron, to keep the sticks moving. Something over the middle inside the linebackers, right over the ball.
Third down, the line to make the 48. 21-3, Florida State. Lots it incomplete. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Ron, before you mentioned Jay Barker and his Heisman hopes. He got 123 of his 177 yards passing today on 2 scores, including this one to Marcel West. We'll take you to Birmingham for Chris Craig and Coach Corso's analysis at halftime.
Well, I tell you what, when you play as well as that defense is playing, you get a couple of home run balls, you're tough to beat. And that's what happened today. Florida State with a return on Robson's kick. Very, very high. This is roll for the 21. Well, speaking of the Heisman, Mike, what about the running backs?
When you look at this fine group of running backs, of course, Lawrence Phillips out of Nebraska, they're off this week. They got Oklahoma next week. Kajana Carter with a big day against Northwestern. He's got 18 touchdowns. And of course, Rashaan Salam out of Colorado, who's had a great year, yardage, 2,000 yards. So got some fine running backs in this race too. And we have that Heisman show on our air. So and it's a Heisman race this year. I don't think there's any favorite in this thing, and could be interesting.
Well, this year, the 60th anniversary, ESPN has it's going to be at 7:30 Eastern time on December the 10th. Crockett, he's carrying somebody with him. Holding on for dear life is Damian Covington, but not before Crockett takes it up to the 36. Damon's a senior. Berlin, New Jersey, his home. Player shaken up, that's William Strong. And that's the reason that they had to stop the clock momentarily. And William is limping off the field and right in front of us here. And we'll check and see what we can find out about him. Clock whistled back in as Major comes in replacing William Strong. Warwick Dunn. You can see the simple little moves that he makes. They may look simple from up here, but they're not if you're a defensive back trying to trap him in the open field. And Brandon Davis finally made to stop it. It's a gain of 12.
Ron, take a look over on the sideline. This is Florida State, and what they do on the sideline, this is their defense. When the offense is on the field, their defense sits. They have a certain area to sit here. Defense, the position guys sit so that the coaches can get to them. But Florida State, like no other team, sits on the sideline like they did in 1950.
Flag comes down. Dunn breaks it open at the 30, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just before the 20-yard line. And let's go back and check that marker at the 50. Holding Seminoles. And erases a 30-yard gain by Warwick Dunn.
I think Warwick had a nice conversation with Bobby Bowden. I think he and Rock Preston probably like that too, because he gets to carry the ball a little bit. But when you have somebody talented like Warwick Dunn, and you like to throw the football, you want to win, first of all. So running the football is the key to this Florida State team.
Well, Bobby Bowden said, I looked at his numbers, and he said, you know, you don't get all wrapped up in that kind of thing. And he said, I didn't realize how many the youngster had. At 8:56 coming into this ball game tonight, as you look at Rock Preston.
Well, Billy Sexton, the running back coach, keeps track of the plays Warwick Dunn, how many plays he's in, and he tries to go 2-to-1. Warwick Dunn 2 to Rock Preston's 1.
Bobby Bowden pacing a lot tonight. We haven't seen him sitting on that stool on the sideline. Maybe the back is better. Kyle Reeves into the three-point stance. On a first down following the penalty and long. And Cannell way on top. He's got a man there, and it is tipped away and almost caught. William Strong defensively, and Philip Riley had beaten him past just a little short.
And again, I think the reason this ball's incomplete is because Danny Cannell's taken too long to throw the deep pass. Ball's thrown too far down the field. William Strong gets a chance, but now he's under pressure here by Carl Reeves. So he steps up late to throw the football, but it just hangs in the air too long. William Strong's able to recover and get a hand on the football, knock it away from Philip Riley.
Well, Mike, if you'll notice where they were, that was the 10-yard line. He threw it from the 30, so it's 60 yards in the air.
Too long. Just takes too long for that completion to happen.
Cannell deep over the middle. It is tipped and knocked away, and it'll be third down and long. Dwayne Everett with the defensive play.
This is not the kind of game Bobby Bowden and Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, wanted for Danny Cannell tonight. They wanted him to have a high percentage game throwing the football. And again, not to play cautious, but to get a little bit more confidence before they go into that big game against Florida.
Cannell 5 of 15, 72 yards and a touchdown.
I like Danny Cannell. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. This is his first year under center where he's getting this much play for Bobby Bowden. And they have a second-team guy named Thad Busby, who I think is a great quarterback.
From the shotgun on third down. Cannell swings it out. Rock Preston. He just loses the football and then falls forward and makes the recovery. Just make it exciting for your head coach right here in front of it. Look at this, Mike.
Danny Cannell just going to throw the outlet pass the flare. Rock Preston just drops the football. Lucky to get it back.
Oh, he was. He's got a good bounce.
You have to like tailbacks with the name Rock. Rock Preston.
Mowry to punt it away. Fitzgerald is the deep man off the side of his foot. And he goes out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Not very far. 23 yards in the kick.
And we talked about Mowry a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week where we talked about how he had lost his job. And here's a player, and I think he's a good example for high school players around the country, grade school players. Sometimes you may lose your position. Dan Mowry didn't quit. He hung with it, stayed with it. Bobby Bowden said, I'm going to give him a chance to compete. And now Dan Mowry's back kicking field goals, extra points, and punting for Florida State. Never complained.
And the first guy to congratulate him or to come over and talk to him was Scott Bentley on the sideline, number 3, who lost his job to Mowry. And, of course, everybody knows the story of Mowry and the field goal attempt. The wide right, and he didn't want to be remembered that way. Tremaine Stevens will take it for a couple of yards. Coming up at halftime, the GMAC halftime report. Bill McCartney shocks a lot of folks and resigns effective at the end of the year. The Iron Bowl and also an ACC Classic. All of that and more at halftime on the GMAC halftime report. Bender throws that one short, and it might be a good thing because that one could have been intercepted.
I would think that the ACC Classic they're talking about was that Duke, North Carolina game, because that was as well-coached a football game today by Fred Goldsmith of Duke and Mac Brown's staff of North Carolina. A very solid football game.
That would have been a fun game to do. I mean, they were up and down the field. It was one thing right after another. Bender intercepted. Corey Fuller, the closest man to it. Addis is the guy that he wanted, but he overthrew that one. Now here's the dangerous situation. 65 seconds left, and they're going to have to give the football back to the Seminoles.
It's a lousy first half offensively. Just except for the first drive, Michael O'Kane's offense just has not been able to get anything going. And you have to credit Florida State's defense. Very active, substituting a lot of players, good speed. They have really been the difference in this ball game.
Stick is going to take a Florida State bounce now and goes dead at the 36. Let's go down and check in with Mike Adamle. And Mike's with a guy that Wolfpack misses very badly. Mike?
Boy, Ron, you've got that right. His name is Eddie Goins, number 19. He holds virtually every North Carolina State receiving record, from career yards to touchdowns, with 17. And Eddie, tonight, one of the nice things that your players are doing, since this is senior night, last home game for all of them, is wearing the number 19 decal on their helmets. That's going to make you feel mighty proud.
Oh yeah, that's basically the biggest compliment that I've been paid since I've been here, probably in my whole career.
How tough is it for you to sit out knowing that you could be such an asset this evening?
It's very frustrating because I feel like I could make some plays out there to help our team maybe get the ball in the end zone.
I know one of the things that you're most proud about, not so much the receiving yards, but all ACC academic team 4 years in a row.
Well, yeah, I think academics is something that's really overlooked for athletes, and I want to be an example to other athletes and to younger kids coming up to make sure that they take care of academics first and athletics second.
Eddie, thanks for chatting with us, and no question about it, they miss you out there tonight. Good luck.
Eddie Goins, really terrific football player. Lost for the season with that injury. You could see the hole just a moment ago. Flags came from everywhere. And now Florida State taking a walk back. A big walk back.
And Ron, Michael O'Kane, the head coach, never mentions the fact Eddie Goins' leading receivers out. His starting quarterback, Terry Harvey's not in the ball game. It's the class act, Michael O'Kane, not using any excuses with injured players. But they've lost a lot of their offense tonight.
46 seconds left until halftime. Brock Preston back in the ball game. Turns the corner. And takes a pretty good hit out to the 29-yard line. Ricky Bell. Glad that he is okay and back in the ball game. Zach Crockett with a good block to help his tailback turn the corner. And he's going to be knocked down by John Rissler. And that could be the final play of this first half. In fact, I would imagine that it would as they start heading toward the locker room. So that's the end of the first half with our score. Florida State 21, NC State 3. Now let's check in with Mike Tirico for the GMAC halftime report. Mike.
Ron, Florida State 30 minutes from a 24th ACC win and a third straight conference title, leading by 18. Coming up at the half, classic rivalry weekend lived up to its advanced billing, but was overshadowed a bit by some shocking news out of Boulder, Colorado, the resignation of Bill McCartney. You'll hear his resignation announcement, and we'll take you to Birmingham, Alabama to get the thoughts of Chris, Craig, and Coach about the McCartney story and the Wild Iron Bowl in Birmingham.
Hey,
all coming up at the half, where Florida State leads NC State by 18.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
I got kind of carried away. Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
Come here, you little pissweed. You don't want that.
No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything?
Oh.
Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Who was that kid? I don't know. Just sign him up.
For over 90 years, we've built a reputation for truck strength. Now we're adding a new dimension of even greater comfort. With the luxury of leather and a refined new interior, surrounded by all the strength you'd expect from GMC trucks, which may be the greatest comfort of all.
Only those with superhuman ability may enter my court. I got next. Dare to continue.
This halftime report is presented by GMAC.
Only top 25 game going on in the snow and wind in Pullman, Washington. Other than, of course, our game. It's Washington State, and it's Albert Kennedy taking the Chad Davis pass and outrunning the Husky D to get down to the 20 on 2 plays. After that, Kevin Hicks works it towards the goal line and punches it in. Mike Price's team up 21-6 at the half, and have added a safety since. Final seconds, third quarter in Pullman. Cougars have a chance to go to the Freedom or Alamo Bowl, depending on what happens with Arizona State next week. We welcome you to the GMAC halftime report on Rivalry Saturday in college football. As the games were going on, we were plotting out what's going to happen with the bowls, but then the shocking announcement from Boulder, Colorado, about 2.5 hours ago, word that Bill McCartney, the coach of the Buffs, would resign after the bowl game for Colorado this year. He made that announcement right after the game.
I have an announcement to make. Lindy, would you come up here? I have a lot of family here, and I'm resigning effective this year. I'm going to see us through the bowl game if I'm permitted, and through the school year.
As you look at McCartney's accomplishments in his 13 seasons at Boulder, the AD told ESPN Radio earlier tonight that he has not been contacted by any other school for permission to talk with Bill McCartney, who's resigning after this season at Colorado. As for the game involving the Buffs, Rashaan Salaam needing 12 yards on this carry to go over 2,000, and he breaks the 2,000 barrier in style, exploding for a 67-yard score against Iowa State. He had 259 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, finishes with 2,055 regular season yards as Colorado wins by 21, becoming only the 4th back in 1A to go over 2,000. The other 3 have won the Heisman Trophy. The Iron Bowl. Auburn, Alabama, and Birmingham up 7-0. Final play, first quarter, Jay Barker to Todrick Malone. Makes the move, and he's gone. 74 yards to the end zone. 14 Bama after 1, but Terry's Tigers would rally. 2:38 left. Fourth quarter. Patrick Nix, second 1-yard keeper. It's a 7-point Alabama lead. The Auburn defense holds. 4th and 3 for the 42. Frank Sanders, the spot was, centimeters shy of a first down, to the disbelief of the Auburn faithful and the joy of the Alabama faithful. The Iron Bowl goes to Alabama, scoring all 3 of its touchdowns in 7.5 minutes. They held Stephen Davis to 51 yards on the ground. We'll go to Birmingham in a second. How about the other unbeatens on this day? Nebraska, number 1, they play Oklahoma on Friday. Texas A&M completes a regular season without a loss, winning a 26th straight home game, knocking out of TCU's contention for the Cotton Bowl bid in the SWC. Penn State against Northwestern, up 7-0. Jopa's team goes aerial. Kerry Collins, the dump to Bobby Ingram, who will break a tackle and do the rest. 50 yards. Into the end zone for the score. 14-0 at that point. Penn State broke a school record, 467 points this year, and they have a game left. Ejana Carter, 18 of those points on 3 touchdowns. There's one of them. Penn State won by 28 points, scored off of 4 Northwestern turnovers. Who will they meet in the Rose Bowl? Oregon, all they had to do was win to get to the Rose Bowl for the first time in 37 years. And Danny O'Neal, Dino Filyaw, 18 yards, for what proved to be the game-winning score. And Oregon is on its way to the Rose Bowl. They've won 6 straight, winning the Civil War against Oregon State by 4 today in Corvallis. Would John Cooper finally get the first win in his Ohio State coaching tenure over Michigan? Bobby Hoying did come up pretty big today. Keeps it there to get in the end zone. Celebrations on in Columbus. They don't know how to raise Coach Cooper after a win over Michigan. They fumbled the coach. He was okay, and celebrating tonight as the Buckeyes will go to the Citrus Bowl in beautiful downtown Orlando. Michigan will go to the Holiday Bowl that you'll see here on ESPN. back to Birmingham for the story after the Iron Bowl and a little bit of reaction to what else has happened this rivalry Saturday in college football. And here's Chris Fowler.
Mike, thank you. They're still making some noise here outside of Legion Field. A lot noisier now than it was during that final measurement when Auburn came out inches short, 43 yards away from the goal line. You showed the play. Auburn certainly has a complaint on the spot. But, Craig, it was fitting that Alabama's defense on the field at the end needing to make a play.
They were there at the beginning of the ball game and at the end. It was a great game by them on the defensive line. Patrick Nix of Auburn, the quarterback, his first start in the Iron Bowl. You knew the guy was going to need excellent pass protection. It just didn't happen. In the backside, they killed this man from the beginning of the game until the end of the ball game. Backside guard, backside tackle. They just got to match up. But the problem was the tackle consistently was beaten at the snap of the football. Because of that, Patrick Nix never had a chance to throw the ball deep down the field, and he was rattled. Times to throw the ball all the way over into the bleachers and the sidelines. And I thought that was a very key part of the ball game.
All right, they have it at the SEC championship game. Nebraska and Penn State, one win away from undefeated seasons. Guys, we're within 3 games now, having 3 different undefeated teams in 3 different bowls. Mass confusion.
Well, what I saw today, I saw the talent on Alabama. Alabama has the talent, number one, to beat Florida, and they can also beat almost anybody in that Sugar Bowl. Remember Miami. Now, if they win those 2 ball games, I got to be number 1. That leaves Nebraska number 2, Penn State number 3, all unbeaten. And then, my friends, Tom Osborne and Joe Paterno will be doing exactly as we've been doing. We got to have a playoff to see who's going to be the national champion on the field.
They've been saying it's the presidents that aren't listening.
Yeah, they'll listen this time.
I'll tell you what, voters having to choose between a Nebraska team that could beat Miami in the Orange Bowl, an undefeated Penn State team, and a 13-0 Alabama team, tough choice. Now, Gene Stallings, after the game, did some lobbying. He's the first coach among the top teams to really come out and strongly state the case for his team.
If we kept winning out, I thought we'd have a chance. You know, we've defeated 2 nationally ranked teams in a row. We're going to play a nationally ranked team next week, and it'll be a nationally ranked team in the bowl. And if that happens, I don't think there's any question that Alabama will win the national championship.
So you don't feel the way you're playing?
If you look at the schedule we're playing, I mean, you know, Mississippi State was nationally ranked, Auburn was nationally ranked, Florida's nationally ranked, and whoever we play in the bowl is going to be nationally ranked.
Terry, in a word, is Alabama number 1 now?
Again, I don't know. They are the number 1 team in Birmingham, Alabama, and they're the number 1 team in this state. We got to live with that for 365 days.
Alabama did not have a first-place vote in either the bowl or coaches poll or the AP poll, so they don't have any in the bowl poll, so they're asking to come way from behind. Of course, the big story of the day, Bill McCartney's abrupt resignation. Guys, I can tell you that members of his staff, people in the administration of Colorado, his players were all shocked about this. The players breaking down and crying after the ballgame when he told them about it. This comes as a complete surprise.
Well, he has not made any definite plans, but I knew one thing. He is very involved with his religious background and with Promise Keepers. It is an organization for men around the country. They're selling out stadiums professing Christianity, and I would not be surprised at all if he really devotes a lot of his time to Promise Keepers.
Well, you got to look at Bill McCartney in one way. He went to Colorado from Michigan, did a great job there. He built him a national championship. He just signed the longest contract of anybody in the nation. He's got more security. He's got money. He's got security. So it's got to be something personal like this or something else. Maybe he's just burned out.
Coaching racket, Lee. You know about that.
I'll tell you, I'd never burn out if I could coach again.
Back to Mike Tirico in the studio. Highlights of one of the wildest games of the day. Carolina and Duke going at it back and forth in the ACC. Meanwhile, the Seminoles lead the Wolfpack.
Don't let a new car payment get you all wound up. Get Smart Lease by GMAC. It can put a new spin on affordability. Don't let a new truck payment stretch you to the limit. Get Smart Lease by GMAC. It keeps new vehicles well within reach.
What are you getting little Al for the holidays? He's growing by leaps and bounds. Remember his size this week? No? Better come into Radio Shack. We have hundreds of the gifts kids want most. And besides, with a gift from Radio Shack, there's no question. One size fits Al. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you, take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Strap your helmets on. This is primetime NCAA football from the new Mindscape. 40 college teams, colors, and logos. Year-long stats, wind and snow, treacherous rain. 72 plays, bone-crunching playoff action. It's a hot new sports game from the new Mindscape. NCAA football. Get in the gear.
This halftime report is presented by GMAC Financial Services, the expressway home.
North Carolina State's missed its opportunities. Florida State has not, thus the Seminoles lead by 18. If they win here, they win the ACC championship. In all, 5 ACC teams will go to bowl games this year. That locked up with an Independence Bowl agreement this week. North Carolina and Duke battling for one of the upper bowls amongst the 5. This was the game of the day in terms of offense, 38-34. Mike Thomas to Octavius Barnes, gets through the secondary, finds the sidelines, and watch my back. 71-yard touchdown, 41-38, UNC. Fred Goldschmidt's team drives down the field, one last chance, still down 3. Spence Fisher looking, it's deflected, and Fuzzy Lee clears up the situation with an interception. Tar Heels ran out of the back of the end zone for a late safety. Duke missed a 60-yard field goal. Carolina wins by 1. Both teams are 5-3 in the ACC. NC State next week plays Virginia. Look out, they forced 8 turnovers beating Virginia Tech today in Blacksburg. Boston College on the way to Miami, bumps into West Virginia, and the Mountaineers bouncing back. You'll see them against Syracuse Thanksgiving night. Miami won the Big East title. Utah is in 2nd place in the WAC. Colorado State, if they win at Fresno tonight, we'll keep you updated. Then the Rams would go to the Holiday Bowl to play Michigan. Today in the Rose Bowl, UCLA beat USC for the 4th straight time. That's never happened in that great rivalry. What about Steve McNair's day in the Capital City Classic in Jackson, Mississippi? First quarter, 14-7, Alcorn State, and McNair finds his brother Tim, one of 5 Steve McNair aerials on the day, 533 yards passing, 564 yards of total offense, 5 touchdown passes, 3 INTs. Alcorn State may play in a 1AA postseason game. We'll find that out when the bids are extended tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time. Warwick Dunn extended the Florida State lead earlier. A 33-yard sweep to the left, helping Bobby Bowden's team take an 18-point lead.
Just 4 months ago, this car sold new for $18,000. Last week, it sold for $7,000 less at East Lake Auto Sales. New, this luxury sedan cost over $30 grand. A few miles later, $12,000 less at East Lake Auto Sales. This sports car sold new for $23,000 and $8,000 less at East Lake Auto Sales. We give people great cars with a factory warranty, terrific savings, and good service afterwards at East Lake Auto Sales.
Vulcan Lincoln Mercury keeps breaking records, but now listen to this. Every last one of our 94 models will be sold at invoice. TC, turn up your hearing aid. I'll say it again. Every 94 model on the lot is offered at invoice. Every Town Car, Grand Marquis, Tracer, Cougar, and Mark 8 priced at invoice. Folks, they're going fast, so don't miss this one. Come see the excitingly elegant 1995 Lincoln Mercurys only at Vulcan Lincoln Mercury, Highway 31 in Vestavia.
Parker, archaeologist, scholar, and NC State professor. North Carolina State University, sharing the experience. Jerry Van Dyke of Coach and North Carolina's Corey Holliday discussed the rewards of college football.
Corey, I understand you had 45 consecutive games with a catch. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that takes care of that. No, but seriously, what do you remember most about your college days?
The discipline and organization college football taught me, the skills I can use in the classroom or the workplace.
College football may be hard work, but its true rewards can last a lifetime.
Saluting an American tradition, 125 years of college football.
The GMAC halftime report, chewing up yards, more scores. Congratulations to Wisconsin. They'll go to the Hall of Fame Bowl after beating Illinois today. Curly Hallman, lame duck coach at LSU, trying to win his last two, beating Tulane right now. Kentucky won before Labor Day. Didn't win the rest of the way. They finished at 1-10. East Carolina against Memphis. The winner goes to the Liberty Bowl. Why is that highlighted? Because Junior Smith is going to come out of that play. Where's the ball? It's up there. Junior Smith took the ball out of the pile. It's a fumble-rooski, but not with alignment, so it's legal. A 30-yard score. East Carolina wins 30-6, and they will go to the Liberty Bowl. Other scores this college football Saturday. Notre Dame wins. Derek Mays, 2 touchdowns, set a school record as the Irish win by 12.
Don't let a new car payment be a financial burden. Get Smart Lease by GMAC. It's an affordable way to drive off with a new GM vehicle. And it might even give you something you wouldn't mind carrying around.
It's great. They fixed up that old truck, went out for their big driving lesson. You know, they'll never forget this day as long as they live.
Here's to fathers and sons, first-time driving lessons and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
I thought going away to college meant I didn't have to answer to anybody anymore. I could stay out all night, tailgate before a game, go to a bar after. One Saturday, we even took our victory celebration on the road. I drove straight into a drunk driving conviction, which means that when I get to this question about ever being convicted of a crime, I have to answer yes.
In the Ivies, Penn rallied late to win a record 21st 1AA game. Yale wins the game against Harvard. And congratulations to Mark Whipple, the rookie coach of Brown. Brown's first winning season since 1987.
The 95 Accord, nice? You bet. And so is the new Civic. And right now at Roebuck Honda, you can drive home either car with no cap reduction. You know, no down payment. And pay just $279 a month for the new Accord, or just $229 a month for the new Civic. Other dealers might offer $249 or $238 a month, but remember, you'll also pay a $1,500 to $2,000 cap reduction. That's down payment. The new Accord, $279 a month. The new Civic, $229 a month for 30 months with no down payment. Only at Roebuck Honda.
If you want a great deal, come on in. Looking for the best selection of new Dodge cars, trucks, and vans in Alabama? You'll find it at Jasper Chrysler Dodge. How about the best prices and the friendliest service? You guessed it, Jasper Chrysler Dodge. From Dakotas to Dualies, from Cummins turbo diesel to Magnum engine. Just call our toll-free number for a quick quote on the Chrysler or Dodge of your choice. We're Jasper Honda Chrysler Dodge, next to Jasper Mall. Come on in.
Collegiate athletics has been a long tradition of the Southeastern Conference. But that's not the only reason we're proud of our student athletes, coaches, and staff. We're just as proud of their involvement with United Way supported programs in their local community. By giving back, they're fulfilling one of the SEC's most important educational goals. And they're proving that a commitment to helping people in need is the mark of a true champion.
The SEC and United Way teaming up to make a difference.
21-3 our halftime score, and Mike Godfrey, the two things that stick out to me in the first half: 3 Wolfpack turnovers and also 2 missed opportunities with no points.
Ron, it's been a game of defense for Florida State, stopping NC State when they get inside the 50-yard line. The running game of Florida State, NC State can't handle that. What NC State has to do in the second half has to get some big plays.
Let's go down to the sideline, and Mike Adamle visited with head coach Mike O'Kane.
Coach, down 21-3, and things possibly could have been worse. You had a great opening drive, and then just those little things started to unravel.
We just made too many mistakes offensively. Turned the ball over a couple times going in down there. We had 2 motion penalties, an opportunity to get points, took possible points away from us. Defensively, we just had a couple of breakdowns, and other than that, we're playing a pretty good ball game. We just got to take care of the football offensively and do the things that we're able to do.
I know depth was one of your big concerns coming into this game. A couple of guys got nicked there in the first half. How are you feeling physically?
I believe we're okay. Ricky Bell is going to be able to play. He got a helmet in his back, but I think he's okay, and overall we're in pretty good shape.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Well, the situation is, Mike, they told us on the practice field, we didn't say much about it in the first half, but they were looking to play only about 16 defensive players in this football game, and that is not a great deal.
Knock it loose, right? Come on, Joe, get down there, baby.
Short kickoff as they get the elevated kick and taken by Zach Crockett and out close to the 40-yard line.
Look at the halftime statistics. Passing yards for North Carolina State, just 26. 15-plus yard plays, just 1. And then, of course, the 3 turnovers have just been killers for the Wolfpack.
Travis Sherman is the player that is shaken up, we've just been told. So Danny Cannell stays on the sidelines for a couple of moments more and visits with the offensive coaches as we try to see exactly what is wrong with Sherman. Sophomore out of Valrico, plays the middle linebacker, 6'1", 222.
You look at Florida State's rushing chart, a lot of success inside the tackles. Of course, one of those plays bounced outside the toss play to Rock Preston, but 22 attempts, and they've controlled this football game with their running game. A lot of success inside. One toss play bounced to the outside for a touchdown for Rock Preston.
Travis Sherman now being helped off the field, and it would appear to be either a right knee or right ankle, but it is the right leg that's been injured, and as you can see, he's unable to put any weight on it. We'll get a report. Warrick Dunn straight up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks another, still on his feet, and he will have 11 yards out to midfield as Mike Moore comes from his inside linebacking spot to put the stopper on him.
We say it every week, but the I teams, when you run an I backfield with a fullback and a tailback dotting the I, the fullback is the key. Zach Crockett is probably one of the better fullback blockers that I've watched this year, along with Joe Frazier of Auburn.
Here's Crockett. Tried to cross him up, and if he doesn't have Mike Harrison holding on to his ankle, he might have taken it for another 10-yard gain.
Have to keep those fullbacks happy. You got to give them the ball every now and then on the belly because they do a lot of blocking for you.
Big Patrick O'Neal, number 69, as they come out of the huddle. But look at him, a senior, 6'3", 280. He had a key block on the touchdown run by Rock Preston back in the first half. This time it's Warrick Dunn. Nothing to the left. Let's go to the right. And he is still fighting his way to the 40-yard line. It's William Strong who had a hold of him. And he'll be stopped at the 40. Almost a first down here. Let's see where they mark it.
On the running game has been successful all night for Florida State. But remember again, Mark Richt, the offensive coordinator, wanted to get success for Danny Cannell tonight. Here Warrick Dunn just able to run back to the side. Melvin Pearsall, the tight end, gets a good block. Cut back by Warrick Dunn. William Strong makes the tackle. But talking about Danny Cannell, he's 6 for 16. It's not the kind of game, of course, all you want to do is win, but you want to get him throwing the football, get him in rhythm here tonight in the second half.
Dunn now has 81 yards and 15 carries. And it is a Florida State first down. 21-3, Seminoles lead as they take this opening possession in the second half. Try to maintain that momentum. and keep this home crowd out of it. And they have silenced them since the second quarter, when they scored 21 points in 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Pitch to Dunn. You see the good blocking. Big hole, and he breaks it. Cuts it back to the middle, and down inside the 25. Carl Reeves finally puts a stopper on him.
Melvin Pearsall again at the point of attack on the toss play. Number 81, the tight end, 6'1", 242. Is going to get another good block. You know, see him right here, and he's able to control this block. And once you control that block, then there's another good block by Patrick McNeil, number 69, the guard again. They're just running the toss at will.
This time it's Crockett. Runs into his own man as a flag comes down. Ed Gallen is down there defensively, along with Reeves, number 85. And let's check out the marker here. Holding Seminoles.
We see the news again on Bill McCartney. Other news out of the Big 8.
During the run against the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Ron was talking to some of the Nebraska coaches the other day. They said that Tommy Frazier is back practicing. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to play, but he's back practicing at the quarterback position for Nebraska. Could see action in the bowl game.
Well, that would indeed be interesting. From the I formation, there's Dunn. Bounces it outside. And look at the move in the corner, and he is going to have the first down on the running play. Damon Covington finally put the stop on it.
Jesus Hernandez, number 77, the tackle to the open side, just again is controlling the line of scrimmage. You're going to watch Jesus Hernandez blocking against Carl Reeves. See, Carl Reeves made a mistake, went inside, and now you lose contain. Warwick Dunn bounces the ball outside, gets by Damon Wyche, number 32, and again, it's just complete control at the line of scrimmage by Florida State's offensive line.
Dunn is going to take it inside the 10-yard line, and that's going to put him right at 122 yards on 16 carries. Well, he went to his head coach and asked him very, very honestly. He said, I'd like to be your next 1,000-yard man. And by golly, he's headed that way, Mike. 122 tonight.
And I'm sure the offensive line likes that, too, because you like to come off the line of scrimmage. You like to be able to smash into a defensive lineman every now and then. And the offensive line's doing a great job tonight.
There's McNeil. Look at the block by him as Dunn falls down. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Patrick McNeil really kind of putting on a little display tonight, isn't he?
He's putting on a clinic for guards here. Offensive guards, number 69, 6'3", 280. He's going to pull right into your living room here.
No, he is the living room. Look at this.
There's the block. Wow. On Ricky Bell, number 42. Ricky Bell says, somebody slow him down. I just don't want to meet him head on.
Well done when he slipped.
He outweighs Ricky Bell 100 pounds with some movement.
Mike, Preston's going to come in. We'll check on Dunn. He is not really limping, but he pulled up a little lame after he slipped on that turn at the corner. Look at the rush yards, 186 to 111, and 123 of those belong to Warwick Dunn. 3rd and 2. Brock Preston. He's got a nose for the end zone as a flag comes down and he takes it in for the score. Offside, Wolfpack.
Ron again, Zach Crockett, number 32, leading Rock Preston in that I formation. Number 32, Zach Crockett. Keep your eye on the fullback. Linebackers key the fullback in the eye. He blocks number 47, Mike Moore. Rock Preston does the rest to get in the end zone.
And as Mowry attempts the extra point, that was George Williams, number 95, and he just hurdled at the line of scrimmage. Went over him and scored from 6 yards away. 28-3, Florida State. Let's take a timeout.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about double fouls. In this play, the offense is holding, followed by a dead ball personal foul by the defense. What is the ruling?
There are lots of reasons to buy life insurance. Here are 2 great ones. I'm State Farm agent Mike Foley. As the Goff family has grown, so have their life insurance needs. That's why we get together for family insurance checkups. I make sure to explain all the options, then they decide on the plan that's right for them. Ask your State Farm agent for a family insurance checkup. It's a great way to learn about life.
We're talking about double fouls. In this play, holding by the offense, 10-yard penalty, followed by a personal foul against the defense, 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Why is Ford Taurus America's best-selling car? Perhaps it's the 220 horsepower, no-compromise performance of Taurus SHO. The combination of outstanding design and extra room in Taurus wagon. Or the latest addition to the Taurus family, the sporty new Taurus SE. All these choices, sharing the Taurus reputation for quality, safety, and value, help explain why Taurus is the best-selling car in America, again.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Get something going quickly, or all of a sudden this thing is out of hand already and could get worse. See if Whitted gets another one here. Yep, it's going to be him. He's a 10-1 track guy. Not on a football scholarship, but on track. Here comes a flag, and right now he's going to be stopped at the 22. So the penalty goes against the Wolfpack, and they're going to start deep in their own territory.
Illegal block. In the back, during the return, half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
65.
Well, NFL tomorrow. This is what will happen tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's the Rams and the 49ers, and of course that means Jerry Rice taking on their rivals from the state of California. 49ers coming off that big win over Dallas last week. 8 o'clock Eastern time. So Rams and the 49ers. Lane Stevens goes for short yards this time, and that's Derek Alexander.
The 49ers have 2 coaches that left the Alabama staff in the last 2 years. Mike Solari, who coaches the offensive line out there, and Larry Kirksey, who's Jerry Rice's coach. How would you like to be Jerry Rice's coach?
Well, you'd always look very good, wouldn't you?
And Larry is a good coach, and I'm sure both of those coaches are happy for Alabama's win today.
Derek Brooks, the senior out of Pensacola, one of the Lombardi Award finalists. His ball club up by 25 points. And we still are not even to the midway point of the third quarter. Stevens bounces off the tackle, takes it out across the 15-yard line, and I believe, yep, he's going to have the first down. Derek Brooks put the stop on him.
Looks like they're going back to the same plan that they started the ball game with, trying to run Stevens up inside. Derek Brooks, number 10, the linebacker, being blocked by the tight end, being held by Dallas Dickerson, number 33, but he's able to get off and make the play.
The fullback. Brown back against the grain, out across the 35, loses the football. They fight for it, and Florida State has picked it up. It's Devin Bush. And Bush will be pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Sean Hamlet is the man who made the hit and caused the turnover.
Well, that's the kind of game that they had last year at Florida State. Mike O'Kane, you can see the frustration. To beat or to play with Florida State, you have to protect the football. You cannot make mistakes. Rod Brown with a good game just dropped the football, the third one for NC State.
Third fumble, their fourth turnover. There also was an interception by Wilson.
See Dick Portee, the running back coach, consoling him, but nice job by Corey Fuller, number 4, really pulling the ball out. Corey's had 3 dominating football games. He came off the knee injury, and they felt like at the beginning of the year it would take till the middle of the year for Corey to play like he used to.
Zach Crockett behind that forward push of the offensive line. He's going to take it for a gain of 5, maybe a little bit more.
Ron, you teach your defensive backs, you teach your defensive players. If you can pull the football out, pull it out, and Corey Fuller really with an alert play there against Rod Brown.
What's up, LaCour? Hey, Mo. What's up, JB?
Brock Preston. Preston will be sandwiched finally. His bodies are still flying all over the place at the 36, and Morocco Brown is the man who made the stop.
Here's what I was talking about, Ron. The last play with a fumble by Rod Brown. Corey Fuller now, first defensive player, Sean Hamlet makes the play, but now watch number 4 just rip the football out. That's what you want him to do. Corey Fuller, the 5'11", 200-pound senior, smart play.
And for Rod Brown, he knows that's what the defense is supposed to do, but that doesn't help his feelings any right now because his club is down by 25, and the Seminoles are in their territory searching for more. Preston, lead block, gets it, turns it back into the middle, collides a little bit with Philip Riley, and will go down at the 24-yard line.
Saw the graphic in the first half where the change that Florida State made since the Miami game to rely more on the running game. Work done tonight, 123 yards, and then Rock Preston comes in the ball game, fresh legs, carrying only 8 times, has 79 yards. So again, credit the offensive line for Florida State.
See those linebackers creeping up as Crockett is going to be caught for the ankles and knocked down, and had he not, there was a lot more yards in front, as Brad Collins is the man who got him.
And the bad news for ACC opponents, Warwick Dunn's a sophomore, Rock Preston's a freshman.
You know, they're going to equal or even better what they did last week with that 163 and 165 respectively. Dunn and Preston on the way. Anyway, since we have 7:50 left in this third quarter. Play action by Cannell, puts it up on top, and he's looking for Cooper in the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State.
Ron, that ball was thrown perfectly by Danny Cannell, but I tell you, I think Andre Cooper got away with pushing off.
Let's see, William Strong was kind of looking on like, I can't believe what you guys have just done to me.
I think he's got a legitimate gripe because I think he was pushed off. Take a look here at the last part of the play. Number 1, Andre Cooper pushing off. William Strong into his helmet a little bit. Got a little separation there. The officials missed that. Touchdown, Andre Cooper. William's still arguing, but William, no shot.
34-3 with 7:44 left in this third quarter. The extra point attempt by Mowry to come. Mowry hits the upright on the left. It's the largest cheer we've heard in a while. Extra point is no good, and there's a flag down right in the middle of the fray.
against the offense. Decline, no score.
So there's a timeout. Florida State 34 and North Carolina State 3.
The weekend. It's when we slow the world down, or sometimes speed it up. It's a chance to roll up your sleeves and put last week in your rear view mirror. And there's one truck designed for a weekend like this, Ford F-Series. With the go-anywhere muscle of push-button four-wheel drive and the most powerful diesel pickup engine ever. More reasons why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck 17 years running. And that's a lot of weekends.
This shop is very much different now. Ford customers told us what they wanted. We have people up on the drive that greet them as soon as they come in. The car is written up within a few minutes, and once we get the repair order in hand, we get a pretty good idea where to go and what we're looking for. The top priority is fix it right the first time, on time. Quality care standards, it must work pretty good. We get letters, cards, a handshake now and then. You know, people let us know this is what they want.
Quality care people, quality care standards at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
The designers of Sega's all-new NFL 95 wanted you to know what it feels like in a real NFL game. So they gave it the real teams, the real players, and a brand new feature that lets you see 65 yards downfield, just like in real life.
Go, Dave, go!
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, Mr. Montana.
There's even a new trading feature.
I just bought a house.
Saturday at 4, Michigan State takes on Penn State. And at 7:30, Boston College takes on Miami on ESPN.
7:44 left in this third quarter. Florida State has really taken it over. 34 unanswered points. And there's the big story, Mike. 4 takeaways.
Can't turn it over against this bunch.
Probably the brightest point in the ball game tonight for North Carolina State has been Whitted. Let's see if he's going to return this one. Nope, they're going to tell him to stay in the end zone. He's got 135 yards and 5 returns, which is an average of 27 per try.
Sometimes you have the right play called against the right defense. Here you're going to watch both safeties. They're cheating up. He has the tight end man-to-man. This safety's cheating up. He's got the back to that side. It's a man-to-man on the outside. It's going to be a streak route on the outside. All 3 linebackers are going to come. They're all picked up. Man-to-man on the outside. Andre Cooper gets away with a little bit of a push against William Strong, and the right play for the right situation.
Well, we had a penalty on the kick, so they're going to do it over again. They will move it back 5 yards. And that gentleman who is, I just mentioned, is averaging 27 per return, Whitted will get an opportunity to return again. Florida State has had no reservation. They just continued to kick to him. That was offsides against the Seminoles.
I'm going to go back to that touchdown play. When you cross the 50-yard line, you expect the opponent to blitz you. And so you've got to have patterns where you're going to be able to take advantage of man-to-man, but you're also going to have protection. And they had the perfect call for what Florida State called on defense.
By the way, Mowry, that's the second extra point that he's missed this year. Here's the kick. Well, that thing looked like a 9-iron with good backspin. Whitted never got to it. And the return takes it to the 27-yard line. Carlos King. Mike Adamle, let's check back in with you.
Well, Ron, who updates you on the Travis Sherman injury. The news not good. Reports are torn anterior cruciate and medial collateral ligaments. Every football player's nightmare.
Well, that's the truth. And Darrell Bush has been playing extremely well, but everybody needs a backup, a good sub, and Travis Sherman has played well, so we hate to hear that. But injury, severe injury to his knee. See those linebackers cheating up. And Bender pass underthrown. He wanted Adrian Hill.
There's a surprise. Fresno State up. Of course, that's early. There'll be about 50 more points scored in that game.
That's by one team. That's not by both. Real early. Speaking of early, Alabama jumped out early.
Vanderbilt played Florida tough today.
Tremaine Stevens is the only setback for NC State. And that pass lofted just a little too far. Grissett, intended receiver. Well, now what starts to happen to you? It is third down. Those two pass plays took absolutely no time whatsoever. And if you don't pick it up here, then here comes that Florida State offense again, and this is how you wind up with a 62-3 game like we had last year.
Well, the snowball is rolling down the hill, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Derek Alexander.
He looks like he's getting bigger and bigger also. He's 6'5", 265. That offensive line, he is getting bigger.
I'm sure as this game has gone on, he has gotten bigger. To those people, anyway. The last 7 passes, 6 incomplete and 1 interception. Not good results for NC State. And he's going to be sacked back at the 22-yard line. The third sack by Florida State. This time it's Peter Boulware. And as I said, Florida State now is going to get awfully good field position, or should, unless we get an out-of-this-world kick.
Peter Boulware has made a couple big plays on defense tonight for Florida State. They play 3 different defensive ends to his side, so they're fresh when they come in.
Robson to punt. 36 is longest, an average of 33.5. Jamari Roll is the deep person. High pass, they got pressure on, and I think they got a piece of it. Not a very long kick, and it dies on that wet turf, and is going to be dead at the 38.5-yard line. That is an 18-yard kick. Clifton Abraham, I believe, got a piece of it. The way he's smiling, yeah, he did. Let's take a break.
Ford Taurus is the best-selling car in America, but some folks prefer the Mercury Sable. At Jasper Ford Lincoln Mercury, you decide. The Ford Taurus or the Sable, $299 a month. Get up to $1,000 cash back or low 2.9 financing for 48 months. Plus, you can buy or lease your new Taurus or Sable. The payment's the same, $299 a month. Drive the Taurus, drive the Sable, then you decide. $299 a month, plenty to choose from at Jasper Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Vulcan Lincoln Mercury announces the arrival of the 1995 Mercury Mystique. They got it right the first time with this one, folks. It's been the #1 selling car in Europe for over a year, and now you can see for yourself why this car is taking America by storm. Listen to this. No scheduled tune-up for the first 100,000 miles. Vulcan Lincoln Mercury will even give you the oil. Now that's confidence, TC. The kind of quality and service that make Vulcan the leader. Vulcan Lincoln Mercury, Highway 31 in Vestavia.
Won't you be part of the watch program?
Clifton Abraham got a piece of that kick, which means that it goes less than 20 yards. And now this means that this is the 4th possession by Florida State to start inside North Carolina State territory. Let's get another look at it here. Team coming from that outside. Just brushed it. So this possession's going to start at the 38-yard line. The other possessions inside the 50, the 47, the 46, and the 37-yard line, and it has resulted so far in 2 touchdowns. And we'll see if Florida State makes it a 3rd touchdown after starting in Wolfpack territory. Crockett has 5, has 10, 15, and counted off at 17. Ricky Bell will take his feet out from under him, and Clay Shiver with an awfully good block on the play.
Looked like a quick trap play up inside, hit up inside. It looked like they got a double team inside. Zach Crockett, there's a trap. Lewis Tyre, number 66, with the trap block. Ricky Bell with a tackle. In the secondary quick, Zach Crockett.
I think Florida State does everything quick, don't they, Mike?
So much speed. I'd say so much depth.
Warwick Dunn. And he gets some rough treatment. That time Carl Reeves along with Eric Counts.
If you're going to beat them in this league, Ron, you've got to recruit speed. You've got to have the same type of speed that they have if you're going to beat them in this conference. Carl Reeves, number 85, working against Jesus Hernandez, and came off the block to make the tackle on Warrick Dunn.
Also counts, you could see him, number 99, moving across. Snap goes to Dunn, and they'll knock it down for no gain. Let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike, what do you have for us this time?
Well, Ron, you know they play overtime in Division I AA. This was the game for the Yankee Conference title. Matt Mesquita for University of New Hampshire passes back to the quarterback Jim Stayer. New Hampshire took a 52-45 lead. But BU comes back, scores, then has the extra point blocked, so New Hampshire gets the automatic bid, winning in double overtime today in the Yankee Conference.
Unbelievable. Mike, extra points have played a big part today. Cannell with the play action, and was hit just as he threw the pass by Counts. And it was Philip Riley he was trying to get to, and you see Counts get up and a big wink back over to the bench.
Eric Counts is just a very strong football player. He made the play on the previous play also, so that's 2 in a row that he's been in the Florida State backfield.
See the numbers on Mowry, 7 of 9 on the season, his longest 30. And this attempt is going to be placed down at the 33-yard line. 43-yard attempt. Got the distance, and off to the left. No good. So we'll hold it right here. Coming up this Thursday, Thanksgiving night, 7:30 Eastern Time. It's the weekend kickoff show, and followed by Syracuse at West Virginia. Both of those clubs were victorious today. 21-16 Syracuse over Maryland, and West Virginia shocked Boston College 21-20. All of that Thanksgiving night right here on ESPN.
We're going to have a big ball game there Thursday night, but the most important thing is Beano Cook's going to be there, and we need a Thanksgiving dinner, Freddie Klaus, so start preparing it. Thanksgiving in Morgantown.
Yep. I hope it's pleasant and not cold as it might be. Uh-oh. Broken play. And Bender's going to turn it into positive yardage. Go down quickly, son. Yes. Brooks will catch him by the ankle.
James Roberson, also number 47, in on the play.
Mike Adamle, let's go back down to you.
Yeah, one of the difficult things a young man has to go through in his lifetime is the death of a parent, and that's exactly what happened to James Roberson this week, as his dad, after a long illness, passed away. We'll have more in a moment here.
Okay, Michael, we'll get right back to you on that subject with the 2nd down and 6. Bender, short drop this time, and throws it complete. Mike?
Yeah, James is obviously very close with all of his teammates, and usually Thursdays are reserved for film study, but what Coach Chuck Amato did was get all the defensive linemen together and just have a good heart-to-heart chat about the situation. One of the things they contemplated doing was passing the hat and raising a little money for the Roberson family. Chuck Amato thought that it was a good idea, but he said, guys, save some for yourself, too, and use it to make a phone call. Call your mom and dad and tell them how much you love them.
Our condolences to James and to his family and the death of his father this past Thursday. Option play comes back to Stevens. And he's hit by Brooks and wrapped up. And Mr. Tirico, understand you have another report for us.
The Apple Cup has been awarded, Ron. It just didn't go right in the Palouse for Washington. Look at this. Even snaps over the punter's head. The punter, Jeff Prince, with this messed up punt. All said and done for the first time and second time in 6 tries. Washington State wins.
Mike Tirico, a question for you. When's the last time they played at Washington State, those two teams, and it didn't snow? I know it did 2 years ago, and I think it did 4 years ago, too, didn't it?
1938. I think Mike's busy looking through his weather book.
Bender's pass, nicely thrown. That's the best pass he's thrown on the night. He's set, squared his shoulders and hit Greg Addis, and it's going to be a gain of 20 yards in the play.
Jeff Bender with a little play fake, holding the linebackers, gets a little zip on the ball to Addis on the outside, who had really beaten, looked like Samari Roll, number 8.
Back with the first down. Tremaine Stevens takes it for 4, almost 5 yards. Devin Bush up in the secondary. You know, one final point on James Robinson that we were talking about in the death of his father this past week. One of the things that I look back at the notes this week that I've always been impressed by, and I know is very, very important to them, to the Roberson family, is the fact that he is the first of 8 kids to get his degree. And I know that was something that was very, very important to that family. Fullback, right up the middle. Look at King, and he'll take it inside the 25 to the 23.
Another young freshman back, Carlos King, number 39, just hitting that belly. Heath Woods, number 70, gets the block that's able to spring him into the secondary.
Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Mike Adamle. Glad to have you with us here from Carter Finley Stadium. 1:30 left, third quarter. 34-3 our score, Florida State. Carlos King with the carry, and he'll take it to the 20. Gain of 3 yards in the play. Chris Henny-Rode, senior. And that flag is going to be personal foul against Florida State. We mentioned it, Chris Henny-Rode, as one of our scholar athletes tonight. Let's get the call here.
Personal foul against the defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Mike, some of the guys that get lost are those big linemen, even as huge as they are, but the fact that you know as a former coach, kids that don't get lost in your mind are ones that are majoring in biology and have 3 5s and also are all-conference players. Those are the kinds that are really special and you don't have to worry about, right?
No, you don't have to worry about them. And really, when you look at NC State this year, they do not look good tonight, but they've had a good year.
Well, the tailback fell down. The ball is loose, and Mateer tried to get the handoff. And Mike Tirico, let's go back to you.
Mike mentioned 50 more points. Here are the first 7 in that Fresno State-Colorado State game. It is Jerome Oliver for Fresno State, and now they lead Colorado State 21-3. The Rams must win to go to the Holiday Bowl.
Well, that's right. They could really lose a good situation there, and that's after coming from a downside because of Utah dropping a couple of ball games.
And you remember the Colorado State-Wyoming game that we had. They were very fortunate to win that football game.
Pressure is on, and he's caught with the blitz, Derek Brooks. 4 sacks for Florida State.
What happened on that play, Ron, is Florida State moved into the blitz too late for Jeff Bender to get out of the play.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. Florida State 34, NC State 3.
Listen, this stuff that we make, it's powerful. It makes you powerful. Take it. Gather up your ideas. Listen. This stuff, run with it. It's powerful. This stuff, take it. It's powerful. This stuff, make trouble and good things. Gather up your ideas. Run with it. Just do something amazing and good things will happen. It makes you powerful. This stuff, take it. Gather up your ideas. Run. Do something amazing. We're in Gather Up Your Ideas, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. We're in your corner. Listen, we can't wait to see what you're going to do. Listen, listen.
help you?
Yeah, I need some shorts to play basketball.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Full court or half court?
Half, I guess.
Pick up or play. Shirts or skins?
Excuse me?
Day or night, home or away, team or one-on-one?
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. The activewear that's right for however you play. Discus Athletic. The way America plays.
Horse or pig?
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Example, elevating safety. Begin with a steel safety shell. Add standard dual airbags and seats specially designed to hold you securely in place. Then offer anti-lock braking and all-speed traction control. An exclusive in this class. The totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century.
Scott and Bob Edwards aren't particularly concerned about how to choose the right mutual funds. That's because they work with a broker from Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time. Use a workmate on your next job. And you'll never want to work without it. Get the workmate, only from Black & Decker.
The final 15 minutes of play, and you look at the way this one started. 3-0 NC State. That's the way we stood at the end of the first quarter, but then 21 and 13 in back-to-back quarters, and it's now 34-3 Florida State. Jeff Bender has gone the distance at quarterback tonight, replacing Terry Harvey, who suffered a partial separation of his shoulder, making a tackle last week against Duke. And you could see the pressure on Bender. He simply has to throw that one away. It was Todd Rebold who was coming after him, and Mike Guppy is the guy that he wanted, but he just didn't have time to get lined up and get it out to Mike.
Ron, he looks like he's hurt. Todd Rebold on the blitz didn't get picked up. Jeff Bender's hurt.
Now, here's the situation, and NC State just simply, well, let's talk about this for a second here. Boy.
Todd Rebold, just the offensive line just did not pick up the blitz.
So Harvey comes in. Now, here's the situation. They can't have Harvey go down because the only quarterback left is a redshirt freshman who they have not played all year and don't want to play. So Harvey with the handoff, and that's probably as exciting as it's going to get for him because they can't get him injured. Carlos King is the carrier, and you can hear some boos from the crowd, but look at him holding that left arm in close.
Yeah, and you can't mortgage the future behind 34-3. There's no way. Mike O'Kane did the right thing. He didn't want to put Terry Harvey in a bad situation. He didn't want to put the redshirt quarterback in. So, and there he is, Laureano, warming up on the sideline out of Orlando, Florida. He has a brother on the Florida State football team, Jesus.
So Thad Busby comes in at quarterback. But then NC State losing the ball in downs, and it's a Tiger McMillan, and he will be belted at the line of scrimmage and knocked down. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us, partner?
Well, Ron, about a half hour after this game is over, the thoughts of the Seminoles turn to that coach, Coach Spurrier and his Gators. How'd they do today in Music City against Vandy? Jack Jackson, 25 yards on the other end of Danny Werfel's touchdown pass. Gators' lowest point total, but they win by 17.
Yeah, I kept watching that score today thinking to myself, how much are they thinking about next week's ball game? Meanwhile, Bender on the sideline being treated by the team physician, and Tiger McMillan takes it for a couple. The numbers on Bender tonight, 8 of 19 for 50 yards.
Ron, the backup quarterback for Florida State, Thad Busby, moved ahead of John Stark. He's 8 out of 17. Now, this is a quarterback that's got a pretty good future ahead of him. He's got a very strong arm, accurate passer. Came out of high school the same year Ron Powlus came out. Was very heavily recruited by everybody in the country. Chose Florida State, and this guy will be on the field here before long. Outstanding young prospect.
They set the screen to that open side of the field. To the 30 and close to the first down is Long. Rendell Long, a junior out of Palm Bay, Florida. And it looks as though Long is shaken up now.
Carl Reeves on the rush, working against Juan Laureano. Good job by Thad Busby of inviting the rush in and flipping the screen to Rendell Long.
(34-3), Florida State leads. If you've just joined us, NC State scored first, and then the Seminoles have had an answer with no replies since then. And with this injured player down, it gives us an opportunity to say already tonight the Seminoles have lost a player for the year, Travis Sherman, with a serious injury, ligament damage to his knee. And right now there is another Florida State player who is down. It's Long, and we'll get a report on him. Well, by the way, beginning at noon on Friday, CFA Action Division 1AA playoffs. Those teams are going to be decided tomorrow, followed immediately by Georgia Tech at Georgia. Must-win situation for Eric Zier and the Bulldogs in order to be eligible to receive a bowl bid. All of that Friday, right here on ESPN. Mike Tirico, let's check in with you during this injury timeout.
Okay, Ron, for the folks who didn't catch it earlier, Oregon needing to win to get to the Rose Bowl found itself down 3 in the 4th. Danny O'Neal to Dino Filial. They hooked up earlier. They hook up here for a touchdown. Oregon going to the Rose Bowl. The answer to your question about Snow and Pullman, 1990 the last time, Ron.
Okay, I knew you'd be looking that up. A more serious moment here. As Long is down, and they have now pointed to the end zone. And this is the thing that makes everybody, this is the most sobering moment in football, and that's when they have to bring a cart out with the board. And you can see they have a stretcher right there, but the cart is being brought from the end zone. And the paramedics are preparing down in the end zone, and this is not a good sign. Here's the injury right here. You see him lower his head, and then the collision. And Mike Adamle, let's get a report from you. You're closer to what is going on in the field than we are.
Well, right now, as you said, Ron, there's not much I can add to the story except exactly what they're doing on the field right now, and hopefully we will be able to have a report in a few seconds from now. Actually, one of the guys I wanted to talk to were a pair of guys who played here at North Carolina State and didn't have many nights like this. You might remember them, the famous Bucky twins. Quarterback Dave, wide receiver Don, and back in 1972, Don, you guys were on the cover of Sports Illustrated as just freshmen after setting the football world on fire back then. What do you remember about those days?
Well, I guess I don't think that much about the Sports Illustrated. I think that's probably a lot more fun for our family and friends, but those were great times. I mean, 72 to 75, playing for Coach Holtz. It was the winningest 4 years in the history of football at NC State, and you know, I wouldn't trade those memories for anything.
Settle the family debate once and for all, Dave. Who made who? Were you the better quarterback and made him look good, or was he the wide receiver that made the passes after you didn't throw the best balls in the world?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question. There's no question that I made Don everything he ever was. I mean, any receiver could have gone on to be an All-American as long as I was throwing to him. Not seriously. Don was a fantastic receiver, and I think we complement each other.
Gentlemen, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And Mike Gottfried, we should be ashamed of ourselves, old Ohio guys like we are. We were wrong. It wasn't Akron Garfield. They played for a guy named Dick Fortner at Akron Kenmore.
Okay, thanks, Mike. And as we look out on the field, Rendell Long, now we have received a report. At first we thought it might have been a back injury, something like that. The report is it not good, but it is better than what we initially thought. Possibility of a broken leg is what they are saying. And he was given the tomahawk chop just a second ago. Right now he has his hands to his head, though, and obviously in pain. So Rendell Long comes into the ball game and is injured for the Seminoles. And now time is back in. 13:15 left to play.
And what Bobby Bowden wants to do is run this clock and get out of here. Get this win and get back to Tallahassee and get ready for his next ball game. The injuries are starting to mount for Florida State.
They really are, and not just, you know, nitpicking injuries, Mike. These are serious injuries. Pass complete over the middle. Pearsall. And the tight end, the freshman out of Lake Wales, will take it across midfield. That's a gain of 21 yards. Larry Daughtry makes the stop. So Busby looks very good on that throw.
Well, what makes this throw, Ron, is you're in too deep right here, and there's an area down inside here about 15 to 18 yards where you have to hit too deep, and Thad Busby's going to put the ball right behind the linebackers to Melvin Pearsall, right in front of the safeties. They attack too deep perfectly.
Busby on play action, puts it up. It is intercepted at the 3-yard line by William Strong. Philip Riley, the intended receiver, and William Strong came back and proved his point.
William Strong is going to be a high draft pick in the next level. He is an outstanding defensive back. He's been in good position all night. Here he fades back in against Philip Riley, and he intercepts this football.
Well, on the play down to the end zone, back in the last quarter, he thought he might have been pushed off by that same guy, and he comes back and gains a little revenge with the pickoff.
And Ron, you remember Dwayne Washington last year. He played here. He's with the Minnesota Vikings, doing very well as a #1 draft pick. William Strong will be the same type of player.
Carlos King straight ahead. He'll take it for a couple. Terry Harvey continues to have to go at quarterback for NC State.
Figure all he's going to do is hand off, and if he does throw, it's going to be something quick.
And this crowd's not really going to understand that, I don't think, Mike, but they really don't have any choice. It's that's just the way it is. Like you said, you can't mortgage your future. And Laureano has not played this year, the freshman, and you certainly don't want to take the red shirt off of him with 1 game left in the season.
Not the 10th ball game. Even though you're going to have a bowl game, you're just not going to be able to play him enough.
King straight ahead, no gain. Henry Crockett stepped up to make the hit on him. Now 3rd down.
Ron, I'll just go back, and I started off at the beginning of the year criticizing the rule of limiting walk-ons at the beginning of the season. It's another perfect example. You don't have enough depth in college football. You only got 3 quarterbacks here. If you could have brought in more walk-ons at the beginning of the year, they would have understood the plays. You'd have been able to put a guy in here right now. And this just Jeff Bender, Terry Harvey, with 2 guys hurt, just no place to go.
And Mike, with gender equity, is not going to get any better. On top, flag is down with the push-off. Adrian Hill is who they wanted, and Samari Roll is flagged for the pass interference.
Going back to you'll never, ever, anybody could never explain to me why you limit walk-ons at the beginning of the year. I just never understand that. Samari Roll with the interference call.
Just under 11 minutes to play now. And the penalty is going to take this out to the 19-yard line. Boy, look at Harvey having to hold that left arm in tight to himself. I am surprised that he can take the snap and even throw the football as well as he did a minute ago. And they keep it on the ground, and the running play will go for 5, now 6 yards. Tremaine Stevens hit by Sam Coward.
Ron, the interesting thing in this league is there's going to be 4, maybe 5 ball clubs go to bowls for the ACC. Been a good year for them. Got some pretty good teams in this conference this season. Of course, Florida State head and shoulders above the rest.
Well, now we have officially from the field that Rendell Long, possibly a broken leg, has been transported to a local hospital. They'll keep him there overnight. fullback this time, and Carlos King gets whacked at the line of scrimmage. There's not much there. It'll be third down.
There's what we're talking about, the 5 teams in this league, the ACC, and where they will go. Of course, the first 2, the Coalition, and then the Peach picks the 3rd pick up, the Hall of Fame, and Shreveport, the 5th pick. And we will have the 4th pick, the Hall of Fame.
Well, let's see here. You think that Dallas Dickerson, the tight end, do you think they're going to put him into the lineup if need be? Well, that's what they're rehearsing on the sideline.
He's got half of Otto Graham's number there. Yeah, not quite half. A little bit more than half. You remember what Otto Graham's number was, right?
Well, you're saying it was 66, Mike.
60. No, I said a little bit more than a half. A little bit more than a half. He really, I believe, had 2 numbers when he played pro football. I think he had number 14 and wore number 60 for the Cleveland Browns for so many years.
Now, I knew it was 60. I also remember Marion Motley had a very unusual number for a running back. Remember that? 76?
Well, Lou Groza came along, wore number 76 eventually, too. Lou the Toe out of Ohio State.
Well, Tom Matte wore 33, didn't he?
I think he wore 32. Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, my memory's gone. I've lost.
Let's get you a calculator. Third down. Throws this one up the sideline, and now here comes a flag in, and they're going to call holding against Clifton Abraham, I believe, as he just held up the receiver at the 35.
Clifton Abraham, we talked about William Strong going high in the draft. Clifton Abraham, number 2, is another back that a lot of people think very highly of. Adrian Hill, the receiver, number 1. Of course, the officials caught Clifton Abraham on that play. He's pleading his case to Chuck Amato, who's a graduate of North Carolina State, so this is a happy homecoming for him tonight.
Down, the pitch goes to Tremaine Stevens, and he'll take it for only 1. Darrell Bush out there to make the hit. Mike, in checking here, yep, Dallas Dickerson was, listen, he's a senior. It's been a while, but he was a high school quarterback, so that's the reason they're warming him up. Mike Adamle, let's go back to you.
Well, Ron, I just talked to Dallas Dickerson, and obviously down 34-3, not a lot of smiles on this North Carolina State bench. But he had a big grin on, and I asked him the last time he took a snap. Indeed, it was in high school in Oxford, North Carolina. So he's ready to go, should he be called upon.
Yep, that's what you'd have to do. Pass is going to be overthrown here. Well, they're still getting it on pretty good. Kenneth Redmond, who snapped the ball and had to go back about 5 yards and pick up his headgear. He had it taken off at the line of scrimmage. So if you think things have gotten a little lighter on the field because of a 34-3 score, that is wrong. What's that conversation about, Mike?
We're talking about Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators. That's Billy Sexton, who's the running back coach, and Bobby Bowden. I'm sure they're saying, well, let's get back and start looking at the next film, which is the Gators. Well, they might be talking about Lou Groza. I don't know.
They knew his number. Pass wide open is Duffy. And he's going to be tackled down at the 30-yard line. And let's check in with Mike Tirico now for another ski report.
Ron, Fresno State's added a field goal. Here's about the only thing they've done wrong against Colorado State. Charlie Jones, you're going in the wrong direction. He lost 18 yards on this punt return. But Colorado State needs to win this game to go to the Holiday Bowl. They trailed by 21.
Well, I know they've got staying power and comeback power, but you can only spot somebody so much, Michael. 37 yards on that play. Eight minutes left in this ball game. Stevens bounces it outside. He'll have 5 yards.
And I think this is a courageous performance by Terry Harvey. I'm impressed with what he's accomplishing out here. He's hurt, shouldn't be playing. Look how he carries his arm. Just 2 plays ago, Derek Brooks on a blitz, number 10, puts a little lick on Terry Harvey.
You see how closely, after the snap, that he's holding that left arm into his body. That's the shoulder that was separated. Brian Fitzgerald tries to get around the corner. He'll have a couple. Stops the clock. 7:13 to play. Virginia on the agenda next for NC State. And, of course, for Florida State, they will go back home and play their final home game. That means that the Gators will come calling. So the top 5, here are the way the numbers go. NC State with a 5-1 record, and Florida State's going to win their 3rd conference title in a row. 24 straight in the Atlantic Coast Conference for that gentleman right there. Carlos King is the man who gets upended, and he'll have the first down on the 3rd down carry.
We never finished the story.
As we go under 7 minutes left in our ball game. Thursday night, we're in Morgantown, West Virginia. That's where we'll have our turkey. That'll be Syracuse in West Virginia. Then on Saturday, we'll journey down to the Orange Bowl and take a look at Dennis Erickson's Miami Hurricanes as they play host to Boston College. And BC's not going to be in a good mood after getting upended today by West Virginia, you can bet. Hey, Mike, that's a football team, though, that has been a nemesis for them. West Virginia has had an extremely good record in Morgantown against BC, regardless of how good they've been in recent years.
And Don Nehlen's football team, he'd like to start this whole season over because they're coming on as the season goes on. They just had a problem finding a quarterback early in the year, played pretty good defense, and now they seem to have everything together. Still bowl possibility.
Terry Harvey, who is an outstanding pitcher for the Wolfpack, gives it to King. He'll stumble forward for about 3. Joplin for North Carolina State. They scored first, went on top 3-0. Florida State really couldn't find itself early. Was not playing well, but they went up 7-3. Then all of a sudden they're up 14-3. They're still not playing the best, but they're up by 11 points. And then to open the floodgates, they scored 21 points in just over 4.5 minutes. Here comes the blitz in the middle. Harvey's pass intercepted. Sean Hamlet up the far side, and he finally will be tackled at the 27-yard line. Boulware with the pressure up the middle, and Harvey shake it up. Let's take a break.
Just down Sunset and up the incredible California coast is Wolfgang Puck's latest culinary creation, Granita. It's a touch of the Mediterranean with a dash of the Pacific. And if you go there, bring your appetite for travel and your Visa card.
It's Melbeck.
Because Wolfgang's grilled prawns will take you to the Mediterranean, but Granita won't take American Express.
I love to cook, and I love to eat even more.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
You a sports fan? Then you know what this is. All the games you're missing. How'd the Chiefs pull ahead? How'd Seattle blow out the Nuggets? Well, with DirecTV, you see the action, not just the scores. NFL, NBA, college, hundreds of games you probably couldn't get before. Games only on in other cities. Hey, you want numbers? Get a newspaper. You want sports? Get DirecTV. For your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV, see your RCA dealer.
Tiny bubbles in the wine. Hey, the champagne's not Corbel. Great big bubbles
people who know champagne.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by American Honda, who's been making quality automobiles in America for the past 12 years. Steaming hot. That's the way they played. And in fact, that gentleman right there, number 55 for Florida State, came up with an interception. Raynard Wilson, the sophomore out of Lake City, that caused one of the movements for a touchdown in the first half and got him going as Harvey is on the sideline, and the separated shoulder, I imagine, is no better for what just happened out there on the field with the interception.
No, he took a hit from Peter Boulware, number 58, again, who's having an excellent night on defense for Florida State.
Running play with Tiger McMillan, and Tiger will keep it in bounds and go across the 31. Here's that hit, Mike.
Here's Peter Boulware, number 58, just going to beat the block. And they meet at the quarterback. That's what you like your defensive ends to do, meet at the quarterback. But again, a courageous performance by Terry Harvey.
Well, that means that this is the guy that's left. If they get the football back, Dickerson, Dallas Dickerson, the senior from Oxford, North Carolina, who, as Mike said, he told him the last snap that he took was in high school. He'll come in at quarterback. Mike Tirico, let's go back to you.
Well, Ron, we continue to watch Colorado State's quest to win the WAC. Jeremy Burkett on the option, down 24-3, gets inside the 5, fumbles, it goes out of bounds. For the fullback, E.J. Watson ran it in, and Colorado State recovered the ensuing kickoff.
Mike, they want to add drama to everything that happens tonight, and they're doing a pretty good job of it, aren't they?
That's early out there.
You know, here's a number that I'm sure that Michael Cain will address with his football team, but is really alarming to you. That fact that NC State has 15 turnovers in the last 11 quarters against Florida State. Is it something that can creep into your mind, or is it just the physical differences, Mike, between these two football teams?
I think it's the physical differences that they can't get anything going offensively. They just struggle offensively against Florida State.
McMillan again, and the senior out of Kissimmee takes it out to around the 30.
Terry Donahue would have liked to have had J.J. Stokes all year, because it seems like he's come back and they've caught fire out there. UCLA beating Southern Cal, and of course there's a big win for Utah over BYU.
Coming from behind. And North Carolina defeating Duke today. That game had several different situations. It did change personalities, didn't it?
Excellent.
Duke in the first half, then North Carolina, and then Duke comes back with a couple of quick ones.
Excellent football game.
Busby's going to hold on to it after the fake and then throws complete. E.G. Green, I beg your pardon. And he'll take it for the first down.
Ron, I'll meet you in Morgantown Thursday. I'm going to go to Crestline. I'm going to see my mom. She's in the hospital in Mansfield, so I'm going to go visit with her Monday and get to spend some time with her, and then I'll see you in Morgantown, and we'll have dinner with Bino.
That sounds good. Our best for your mom. Warwick Dunn. Outstanding evening again tonight as he continues his drive toward 1,000 yards. We go under 3 minutes left in this ball game. Tiger McMillan again. You know, Mike, I also want to make sure that we say congratulations to Rich Brooks at Oregon. Rich's ball club heading to the Rose Bowl for the first time in a long time. And we were with him a couple of years ago at the East-West Shrine game. And he is really a very nice gentleman. And I'm happy for him and for his staff and for his football team out there.
And since we're on the congratulations, and I agree with you with Rich Brooks, Alyssa Claire Rothman has her first birthday. Remember last year, the Florida State game, she was born. So, and our producer had to leave to tend to that matter and missed the birth of his daughter. So
I'm trying to figure out.
Number one.
I know it. If we say Yeah, happy birthday to her. And I'm trying to remember if last year was more fun with or without him.
I can answer that. Without. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't yank it off me here.
Busby from the shotgun gets it out in the flat and are able to stay in bounds with the play. And we're under 130 as Dealey, number 7, junior out of Tallahassee, comes in, and he was on the receiving end of that one. You see the congratulations from the players. Now, these are the guys that are the practice players. And you see the hugs and everything, you say, why? You know, when they caught the ball, it was a first down. That's a big deal for a guy that never gets to play because he works as hard as everybody else, but he just doesn't get the playing time that those regulars do. And particularly when you got as much depth and talent as this Florida State team does.
What's up, Reg? Back.
Well, we're under 1 minute. Tiger McMillan on the carry.
Well, when it's over, there's not much to do but sign autographs.
Carl Reeves, a senior out of Durham. I don't think this season will be the end of his football, though. Do you, Mike?
No, he's a very talented player. And, of course, you mentioned they have Virginia next week. They'll be in a bowl game, so we've got 2 more ball games to play yet this year.
Tiger McMillan gets it inside the 40. That's going to be the last play of our ball game. 8 seconds down to 7. And instead of telling you good night, we have another commercial we need to get in here. So wait a minute, we got 7 seconds on the clock and they're still not, well, now they're rolling it down to 2, down to 1, and it's over. We'll be back with our players of the game after we pause for this.
That wasn't so bad.
Well, I wouldn't congratulate yourself quite yet.
I see.
What is it?
Nothing. Guess who?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Excuse me.
Don't you just love the wind through your hair?
What I have left. What do you need to be the best? Starter. Every time I go out there, the adrenaline starts pumping. Chills running down my spine. I'm scared. Whoa. Talent can only take you so far. You always have to be motivated yourself.
You gotta have something inside.
A burning desire to go out there and compete every night. You need to do everything it takes.
No matter what.
Stopping at nothing.
I'm not gonna stop.
That's the nature of the beast.
Score that touchdown just to hit him go crazy.
You have to love a starter. What do you need to be the best? Everything you got.
It's up to you.
Thursday at 8, Syracuse, out to avenge last year's loss, takes on West Virginia, only on ESPN.
So you see our final score at 34-3. Tonight's Visa players of the game are from Florida State, Warrick Dunn, 21 carries, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. And for NC State, their fine freshman running back, Tremaine Stevens, 17 rushes, 121 yards, an average of 7.1. And as part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes. Again, our final score, Florida State 34 and North Carolina State 3. Mike Tirico, to you.
Okay, Ron, thank you. We'll see you guys Thanksgiving night in Morgantown. So Florida State wins the ACC championship. Several championships, some bowl games were decided on this rivalry Saturday. If you have a friend who's a big college football fan, call them, because over the next 50 minutes, as we work our way towards SportsCenter, we'll recap the day on the Residents in College Football scoreboard, get some perspective from Chris Craig and the coach down in Birmingham, and Bino Cook will join us as well. Our final, Florida State by 31.
Okay, second down and 9. Backside of the I with 4:36 to play. Tiki Barber off tackle over the left side, running over Jeremy Raley, big, strong number 69. Barber brought down at about the 12 by K. Mays. Tiki Barber has had to work hard for everything, as has number 69, Raley.
But a big part of this drive has been Tim Sherman. He's rushed 3 times for 17 yards. Tiki with 79 yards on the day. The whole Carolina offense with just 24. Keep in mind, all those sacks are deducted out of rushing yardage, and that's why it's so low for the day.
Once again, it is 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. Crowell hangs on to it and is hit at the 7-yard line by Robert Williams. Close to the first down, and Crowell really got hit hard. You know, you look at Crowell, number 17, he said one of his idols growing up was Herman Moore, the former receiver here at Virginia, John.
So you want to be a tall receiver and pattern yourself after Herman Moore. You think they hit hard here, wait till he gets to the next level. They really hit at that level. Another 4th down play.
Barber and Kirby out of the I. The option, Sherman keeps it, and he scores! Society would love this one. Out of the hold of number 7, the extra point is good. We're tied at 17. Virginia hoping for its 7th win of the season.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Just a little bit. 3:07 to play in the ball game.
That's incredible. Tim Sherman gets back in the football game.